And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to begin. There's quite a bit of breaking news and just random clips that I'm going to play throughout the show. I just saw that the Georgia guidestones got completely destroyed. First there was an explosion, now they're completely destroyed. We'll talk about that in a minute. I do have video of them being leveled. There's a construction crew out there, it looks like. There's like a bulldozer. We'll talk about that once I get to it. Also, we gotta talk a little about this Illinois shooting. Very tough gun laws, but yeah, what happened? And of course, he was known to the federales, or at least local law enforcement. We'll talk about how that whole thing played out. Brittney Griner, the jailed WNBA basketball player, wrote an open letter to Joe Biden pleading to have him intervene with her incarceration and hopefully get her released. In the letter, she said that she voted for Joe Biden. Well, apparently she voted for the wrong guy. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then we have Rhode Island State Senator Tierra Mack twerking. And in the twerk video, she says, hey, vote for me. We'll talk about that in a minute. Shout out to Jerome Davison's very compelling video. It was a campaign ad displaying why you need Second Amendment, why you need your AR, and why you need all 30 rounds. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoyed what you have heard thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And you guys are the best, as I said. I couldn't do the show without you. Shout out to the sponsors. You know how I do at the very beginning of each show. Shout out to all my sponsors. Shout out to me. And my particular website, you got to go there. If you're not already going there, go there right now. And before I talk about that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because sometimes you're not all the way subscribed. You think you're subscribed, but you're not. They unsubscribe you. They take away notifications. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to right now, and it'll be available audio only at 8 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time, which this will be 8 a.m. Thursday. So on a Saturday show, 8 a.m. Sunday, the Wednesday show, 8 a.m. Thursday. And you can find me on your favorite audio streaming platform, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And of course, shout out to my sponsors, my two websites I have, anthonyblogan.com, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Love y'all as well. Shout out to everybody that said they love me. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all as well. But go to the website. For every video that I produce, I write an article for it. So nobody can never say that I don't cite my sources. I always cite my sources. They're always on the website. Always have full video, whatever you need, whatever you want. Just go to the website. If there's ever a question, you like, hey man, where is this information? Where is this video? Where is this? Where is that? Go to the website and your question may just be answered. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com, ANTHONY, letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, you can go to the contact page and find my email, my snail mail, and all that good stuff. My social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that's right there on the contact page. If you're ever wondering, hey, is this really you DMing me on Instagram? Is this really you doing? If you have to wonder, just go to the contact page, and if it's not mine, it will not be listed there. So AnthonyBLogan.com, check it on out. Check out ABLmerch.com. We got hats, we got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got hoodies, mugs, and more on ABLmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. Also go to BHEDesigns.com for these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. You can get ones that are just like these or whatever you want, custom made. It's all good. Again, BHEDesigns, DESIGNS.com. Links, as always, will be in the description. And then, of course, go to patriotpost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. That is patriotpost.us. Check them on out. Great website. And all these links will be in the description. if you're listening on an audio streaming platform, there should be some sort of description area somewhere. Or the easiest way, just go to anthonyblogan.com and everything will be right there. All my sources, all my links, everything will be right on the website. And they can't control that. They can't try to take me off of Spotify. They can't take me off of YouTube. Whatever they want to do for a particular video or a particular podcast, they can't take me off of there. So that'd be what that is. Also, I have a BitChute account. A lot of you guys are asking me about alternative media platforms. I've not gotten onto Rumble yet. I probably should try Rumble. But for now, my alternative media source is BitChute. Link for that will be in the description box of this YouTube video. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. I think I'm going to start with the Georgia guidestones because, and the reason why I'm starting with that, the reason why I'm leading with that is because I don't know a lot about it. So I want you guys to tell me about the Georgia guidestones. The story I heard from back in the day when I was first getting woke, in the true sense, was that the Georgia guidestones were set there to dictate the flow of humanity, or it was like a predictor of how humanity would go. I don't have the full story, obviously, so you guys got to fill me in about what the Georgia guidestones are. So there was one video I saw. I'm going to try to put these videos in sequence, so give me 1 second here, because I have the video. Oh, and I got something from the Bidens as well. We'll get to that in I'm seeing Twitter is crazy. Twitter is nuts. I'm seeing some of these memes that I cannot publicize here on the YouTubes because they would flag me immediately. They probably try to call the federales on me. All right. But let's get back to the Georgia guidestones, and I don't want to get distracted here. So first there was an explosion that they heard, and then they were completely leveled. So I'm thinking that it was so Georgia guidestones about population control. Okay. Darren BTV. Hopefully I said your name right, boss. I don't want to butcher nobody's name. So somebody says Georgia. Okay, yeah. So here's the first one. And this is on disclose.tv on their Twitter page. And their caption says, new Georgia guidestones, the monument with the inscription, maintain humanity under 500 million, has been partially destroyed. So this is that right here. Is there any sound? Just helicopter. It's not really any sound. So you see, this is just them showing it partially destroyed. So it's kind of like a Stonehenge type situation. You understand? With just kind of random stones placed. So the stones that are standing repeated, but you see how this right here is broken down. I'm not really sure how many stones were destroyed, but obviously, you know, you have some destruction right there. All right. So let's say they're going to do a panoramic, I suppose. They're going to circle around it. And we're going to get a fuller view of what's going on. Yeah, I heard about the Georgia guidestones. Jeff K says, do we think it was a devout Christian that took out the stones? I don't know. I don't think that this was a one-man type situation. Okay, I think this was something that was a controlled thing. So now, Disclosed TV put out another video. It says, now Georgia guidestones are now completely leveled. So I see, you know, a bulldozer or earth mover out there. It's like an earth mover. Okay, can we get any further away from the scene or nah? I mean, good night. Let's go through the grass and be a trooper. So, yeah, I see. I can't tell what that is. Is it an earth mover? I don't know what that is really. But now the stones are completely on the ground. All of the stones are down. So I'm not sure where the Georgia guidestones are. I don't think it's in Atlanta. I don't think it's on Boulder Crest Road or nothing like that. Where are the Georgia guidestones anyway? Hold on. Let me get let me see if I can find it on Google Maps or something. Okay, so the Georgia guidestones are close to Elberton, Georgia, which is outside of Athens, close to the South Carolina line. Yeah, close South Carolina line. So I'm not really sure why they're out there or what's going on with this. Who put them there? I don't really know. But yeah, they're gone. Now, because they're gone, what does that change? Who did that? Why did they do it? What's the purpose? Because As far as I know, the guidestones are out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe they become a nuisance. People traveling out there for whatever the reason may be. It just excavator. Thank you, Crystal. It's an excavator. There we go. I got to get my heavy equipment correct. Say the right things. But maybe it'll become a nuisance. People going out there trying to be tourists, trying to take pictures and all kind of weird stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know why they destroyed it. I don't have that information, but that's just what it is. Okay, did I hear about Boris? What happened to Boris? So I'm hearing about a bunch of resignations in UK in the government, but I've not heard about Boris, as in Boris Johnson, over in UK. So I have no clue what's going on with that, but I'm gonna try to do some more research on it. Yeah, Jacob Israel says Elbert, Georgia. Yeah, right out there, close to. It's not far from Athens, but it's close to South Carolina, right there, basically on the line of South Carolina. Okay, but that's what that is. So we'll see if there's any updates about the Georgia Guidestones. We'll get to it, but that's all I got for now. Again, if you're just now coming in, welcome. Hit the like button while you're coming on in. And the Georgia Guidestones, which said on the inscription, keep humanity under 500 million. These really big stones that were in rural Georgia, they have been leveled. They've been knocked down. First, they heard an explosion. Okay, so I don't know what that was. If somebody detonated it on purpose, like just one person, and then the crew came in, and I don't know. I don't know how one person is able to destroy the Georgia Guidestones with explosions. You know, that's that 9/11 Tower 7 stuff. Obviously, a controlled demolition. Talking about some, it was a fire. What kind of fire causes a building to implode on itself without being hit by anything other than shrapnel and fire? So if I throw a Molotov cocktail at a skyscraper, it'll just come down like an accordion. I mean, let's be for real. But I don't want to go down that road because I ain't trying to get flagged. But y'all know what it is. You already know what time it is. You OG Zeitgeist guys like me, you already know what it is. Even if you're not an OG Zeitgeist guy like me, you know that didn't make any sense. Oh, it failed because it got hit by some shrapnel. There was a fire, whatever. Steel beams. I'm getting triggered yet again. I'm getting triggered all over again, so I digress. Yeah, thunder and lightning. Yeah, thunder and lightning. Georgia is known for them crazy thunderstorms. Them lightning bolts with like Zeus himself throwing them down. Like it's the Avengers Endgame. He just throwing them. Boom. But it don't cause that kind of damage. Anyway, let me keep on rocking and rolling here. Oh, and I want to say one thing. Just one thing I want to say. Just because everything that I and many others told you about the virus has now come true. We told you that they will be trying to do shots every year like the flu and pills, and that is like a cold, basically. Everything we said is true. This is why the government this is why the government sucks. You can't really just take whatever the government says for gospel, right? At a certain point, use your own brain, use your own mind, and come up with things that make sense to you. Or talk to people that know better, talk to actual scientists and doctors that are in the field, not Dr. Anthony Fauci. This fool done got every booster shot, pill, and then caught the bug over and over again. And then didn't he say that it made him feel worse when he had got the booster, once he got the virus again? It's like, all right, well, what are we doing? Or it might not have been the booster. It might have been a pill that he took. But everything we told you about the virus has come true. Everything. So I knew from the beginning what it was. I knew right away because I already was kind of aware of how the government operate, how big pharma. I already knew what it was. This is why I don't like drugs, because I know how drug pushers operate. Whether they be drug pushers on the street, you know, your guys selling your little Fetty Wap, little fake pills that got fentanyl on it, or the big pharma guys, the big suits. You know, those are the biggest dope boys right there, the guys in the suits. You know, the dope boy in the street is just trying to. People have a misconception about drug. I'm talking about this right quick. Your average drug dealer on the street, your random dreadhead 16-year-old, makes no money. This guy will probably do better working at McDonald's. Okay, typically, that's how it is. Typically. Once you count all the losses, going to jail, all that stuff, you know, hospital, getting robbed, you make no money. The people that make the money, that's big pharma, the chemical companies, they make the money. They make plenty of money. The cartels make money, but the average person on the street does not make a lot of money. You understand? If I own a McDonald's, I make money. But if you flip burgers, you make no money. But I'll go ahead and move forward because I don't want anybody to get offended. I'm talking about drugs. But yeah, this is why I'm against it, because this is what they do. But let me continue. I got a lot of videos I want to show you guys. We got to get to the whole the shooting out there in Illinois. We got to get to a lot. And let me try to find it here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, if you don't remember 9/11, I got to go back to it. I'm all over the place. I know it, but I got to go back to 9/11. I know I went from drug dealers to this to that, but I got to go back to it right quick. I'm going to turn, there's no sound on this. There is sound, but I'm going to keep the sound off. Look at this. Okay, so here's the building that did not get hit by a plane, if I'm not mistaken. And look how it falls. Watch this. Hold on. Let's just keep on looking. And you're going to see. Look at this. Come on. A fire did that? Like, watch. Better angle. Come on. You can see the charges exploding. You can see it. Look. I mean, it was like somebody took an accordion and just ever so gently closed it. A fire? Steel beams? Does that? Oh, all right. Bet. Okay. Anyway, let me not play too much of that and get anybody triggered or get myself booted. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. And you know what? Somebody said it. They were like, that was the first red pill experience. Oh, that's when I started to really kind of understand the world. And it took me a while after that to really become aware of what's happening in this world. Oh, here's what I wanted to find. Fauci, speaking about the government not telling you the truth, telling you whatever you want to hear. Here's your man Fauci, and listen to what he says about himself. Give me 1 second, make sure I got the sound proper, and let's go ahead and go to it.
And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Interesting, because you've taken 4 injections and you have COVID.
Oh, that ain't it. That's not what I wanted. This is InfoWars. Let's go to right here. Hold up. Give me 1 second, because Twitter video is not really all of that.
And when
you can't really advance or seek properly.
Can feel safe that they are not going to get infected. And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected. And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Interesting, because you've taken 4 injections and you answers actually as just a
Develop the countermeasures that we have so successfully been part of that process to get us the vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. As you mentioned in your opening statement,
Now they want to say therapeutics. Didn't we say that from the beginning about therapeutics? Certain things that Trump said about therapeutics, but when he mentioned therapeutics, oh, that's quackery. You're not a scientist, all this, that, and the third. Now they're mentioning therapeutics, and the vaccine itself is a therapeutic, and not a very good one.
Is changing, and we need to keep up with it. In order to do that, we've got to do better with new vaccine platforms, such as nanoparticle vaccines. We cannot proceed with that unless we get additional funding. Importantly, we need to both prevent infection and transmission. We know that we cannot do that unless we get a highly effective
funding. See, I mean, how much more money do you need? Did we not give you enough? Did we not print all the money in the world in the past 2 years? What more do you need? I mean, come on. Like, are you fundraising or are you trying to find some type of cure for this thing? You're not gonna find a cure. So I suppose you're fundraising. Whatever it is, I can't really tell what's cracking. But you, sir, Mr. Fauci, need to stop. You need to quit. And I think people are really kind of tired of Mr. Fauci. They're tired of the nonsense. They don't really want to hear from him too much anymore. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Now, hold on. I got another video I want to show you guys right quick before I get to the Illinois shooting. Have you guys heard about that Joe Biden clip where he's talking to, I think it's Joe Biden talking to Hunter or vice versa about his overseas business dealings. But we also heard Joe Biden say, I've not spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. So you're on tape talking to him about the overseas stuff, but you said also on tape that you've not done that. So which one is it? And you said you've not done that after you did it, which is on tape. Both things you said are on tape. So which one is true? Which one is false? I think that we kind of, understand what's going on here. And when asked about it, Karine Jean-Pierre, they don't want to talk about it. They kind of just want to sweep it under the rug. Let me see if I can get this right here. This is a long video. I'm going to try to get straight to the meat and potatoes and not be here sitting forever trying to find what I want to find. So this is from Benny Johnson. This is a Fox News clip. And his caption says, Peter Schweizer says Joe and Hunter Biden are headed to prison after smoking gun voicemail.
Yeah, it's 8:15.
So it's kind of muffled, but I'm gonna just read what this says, what the caption says, and then I'll let you hear it for yourself so you know I didn't just make it up. Hey pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on a Wednesday night. If you have a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent, just wanted to talk to you. I thought the article released online is going to be printed tomorrow in the Times was good. I think you're clear. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, is going to be printed tomorrow in the Times was good. I think you're clear.
All right, so I think you're clear. What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean that? Oh, and then look, here's a nice little map. I love maps. I'm a big nerd. I love maps. I study geography for fun. That's the kind of stuff I do. Okay, if I was on Jeopardy and they would say, name every country in the world, I'm winning the prize. If I'm on Jeopardy, name all the countries, I got it. But anyway, so Hunter Biden had business dealings all over the world: Mexico, Ukraine, Romania, Qatar, Kazakhstan, United Arab Emirates, China, and Russia. All over the world getting money. I think he was in, where else? Was it Romania? Or it might have been, I thought he was somewhere like Moldova, which is Ukraine, is basically the same thing as Ukraine. But I guess he was in Romania, which is not that far away from Ukraine. So if he has foreign dealings in Ukraine, we all know about that, about the whole Burisma Holdings thing. If that was going on, you got to ask yourself, why are we over in Ukraine right now trying to, stick our noses in things that don't really belong, that don't really pertain to us? What does a battle between Russia and Ukraine, why does it involve the United States? What do we got to do with it? Maybe because we have money over there we don't want to get rid of. Maybe because we got other interests that are just beyond individual people. You got geopolitical interests. The target appears to be Russia. They're trying to bully Russia the same way they bully like some smaller countries, Iran, Iraq, etc. But Russia's not going to go for it because Russia's a big oil distributor. I'm looking at the long game here. I'm seeing what's going on. Trump did not want to, he didn't want to try to attack Russia or be adversarial. He wanted to be friendly and have good trade that way. But I think the strategy right now is for the U.S. to engage in some kind of hostile approach to Russia because of the natural resources and their power in the world. But they don't want to do that with China because we know that we couldn't do that with China. Okay. But at the same time, we don't want to fight Russia directly. So we're going to use those poor saps in Ukraine to get the job done. And we're going to trick some of these normies out here that don't know any better to support the Ukraine effort because we think that, because they think that they're really doing the right thing for the Ukrainian people. But in reality, all they're doing is helping a lot of these ridiculous, corrupt nations engage in the proxy war against the Russian Federation. But that's what that is. So we're going to see what comes of this. If Hunter goes to the penitentiary, Joe will not go to the penitentiary. If you see President Joe Biden go to the penitentiary, you know he did something bad. Because we know that somebody then did a few things from a certain place in the Midwest It starts with an A and ends with an Arkansas. You understand? Okay, they were in city. They were in a city that starts with an L and ends with a It'll Rock. And they got quite a few bodies behind them, and they've not gone to the penitentiary. So if they've not gone to the clink or the pokey or the who's goo for that, I don't think Joe Biden will go for just getting money in Ukraine and Russia and Moldova, Mexico, China, Russia, et cetera. Yeah, definitely Brandon is above the law. Joe Biden will have to murk somebody, like kill somebody on camera, like in broad daylight in Times Square, to have any kind of problems come his way. And the person they can't just get shot. They can't just get shot and survive. They got to actually die, right? And it can't be any kind of self-defense. It's got to just be an outright murder. Like I told you before, I've said it before, but I'm gonna keep repeating it because of how crazy it was when Dick Cheney shot that man. When Dick Cheney shot that man up on a hunting trip. Now the man wasn't too terribly injured. I guess it was like some kind of bird shot, like they were out there quail hunting or something. But he shot this man in his head with a shotgun, and the guy got on TV and apologized to Dick Cheney. I'm gonna play that again because that clip will forever stick in my mind. It lets us know we're talking about politicians. It lets us know that they could pretty much do whatever. All right, hold on one second here. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, yeah. I already got it in my searches. Dick Cheney shotgun apology. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry to the family, all this, that, and the third. Hold on.
Good afternoon.
So the crazy thing right here, there's like a lower third on this. This is from a while ago, I guess when Cheney was in office, or this is 2006. So the lower third says, breaking news, man shot by VP Cheney speaks.
All of you of media have been very patient and waiting for me to make my appearance here. I hope you understand. I'm sorry I've delayed you, but I know your role is to get the news out to the public.
His name was Harry Whittington.
I compliment you on what you've done. I've read and seen many of your reports, and I know your job isn't easy. I regret that I couldn't have been here earlier, so you could see what a lucky person I am. For many years, my family had been friends of the Armstrongs down in Kennedy County. We have visited them for over 25 years and have had some wonderful trips and visits, pleasant memories that we cherish forever.
Now, I'm reading comments, and somebody said that this is a long time ago, 15 years ago, it's not relevant. Yes, it is relevant. The point is that this man had to apologize for getting shot because Dick Cheney shot him. Have you ever seen somebody say, I'm sorry for you shooting me on accident? Have you ever seen that before in your life? You're not going to see it in any other situation than this, because you're talking about a sitting vice president. The point is that if you're the president, you can pretty much do whatever, depending upon who you linked in with. You see, Trump was not linked in. Trump was just an outsider. Okay, you can be Barack Obama. You could do whatever you want, and nothing will happen. But you're Trump. We didn't really want you anyway because you're not really down with the team. You're not down with the, you're not down with us. So you got to go over there. We're going to talk about the insurrection for 45 years. But you could shoot somebody in the head and they apologize to you. You would not be seen as some kind of violent and dangerous person. It was a mistake, of course, but it doesn't matter if it's a mistake or not, because if you are seen as an outsider, they'll use it against you. But if you're down with the team, then it's fine.
However, this past weekend encompassed all of us in a cloud of misfortune and sadness that is not easy to explain, especially to those who are not familiar with the great sport of quail hunting. We all assume certain risks in whatever we do, whatever activities we pursue, and regardless of how experienced, careful, and dedicated we are. accidents do and will happen. And that's what happened last Friday. I am very grateful and want to thank all the people who have remembered me in their prayers and the kindness that you have extended to my family who's been here this week. My family and I are deeply sorry for all that Vice President Cheney and his family have had to go through this past week.
Did you hear that? My family and I are deeply sorry for what he had to go through. Now I'm reading the comments. You guys say, hey, he walked into Cheney's line of fire. I understand it's a mistake. It's a mistake. But a press conference to apologize to him? You got shot by mistake. Maybe it's your fault. But a press conference? All you got to do is say it was a mistake. And that's it. Apologizing to the family? That right there is a thing that does not happen at all, except for in these situations. When you're talking about a president, vice president, something like that, a king or a queen, that's what it is.
For all that Vice President...
Hold on, let's rewind that and then I'll move on.
My family and I are deeply sorry for all that Vice President Cheney and his family have had to go through this past week. We send our love and respect to them as they deal with situations that are much more serious than what we've had this week.
I mean, even the headline, like the title of this video, Harry Whittington apologizes for getting shot in the face by Dick Cheney. Crazy. But that's how they operate. That's all I wanted to say with that video. But let me move on here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's get into the Brittney Griner situation. So Brittney Griner, WNBA basketball player, is over in Russia, and she's been there for a while. She's been incarcerated or in custody, whatever they want to say in Russia, since February of this year. Now, what she did was bring vape cartridges with weed and hash oil. Like, it was both, if I'm not mistaken. So once those get caught at the airport, oh, you're in Russia with drugs. You're trafficking drugs. It doesn't matter how many how much you have. You're bringing in drugs to the country. That's called trafficking. We're going to lock you up. So she's in jail for a legitimate reason. You know, they're trying to say she's a hostage, all that kind of stuff. This ain't North Korea. I mean, if you bring drugs to Miami-Dade Airport or Hartsfield-Jackson, wherever, it's going to be a problem. If the dogs catch you with some drugs, even in the TSA line trying to get to the airport, trying to get to your flight, it's going to be a wrap, man. You're going to go to jail for that. You're going to go to jail. And just because you're a foreign person doesn't mean that you won't go to jail. So, all right, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm bringing fentanyl and all kinds of stuff. I got fentanyl, hash, weed. I got cocaine, all of that in my bag. And I'm trying to go from Hartsfield-Jackson to LaGuardia. Oh, I'm getting locked up ASAP. It doesn't matter where I'm from. It doesn't matter what country I'm from. I could be a whole Chinese national. They be like, all right, Lofang, get in the paddy wagon and buckle up because it's going to be rough. All right, you're going to the who's goo. Nihama, all that. Get out your system right now because ain't going to be none of that in the jail you're going to. You're going to Fulton County Jail. Ain't going to be no more Niha. You're going to say, hey, shawty, that's going to be what you do now. So get used to it. That's going to happen. She ran into that same situation. She's locked up for a legitimate reason. But you can negotiate sometimes if you call and get your citizen back. Just like with Trump. What Trump did, and I'll get back to Brittney Griner in a minute. She's been locked up since February, and there's been no attempt really to get her back as far as I know. But remember when the basketball player, LiAngelo Ball, he at the time was playing for UCLA. He's not in the NBA right now. I think he's playing for the D League, developmental league. So he probably goes to the NBA, I don't know, sometime soon. His brothers are in the NBA. LaMelo and Lonzo, they're pretty good. But anyway, so he was at UCLA, and for some reason they were in China. I'm not sure why you got a college basketball team over in China, but whatever. Maybe they were playing a tournament. I don't know. but he decides to steal some shades from the store. He shoplifts from the store. So, of course, it's China. They can see you. They have cameras everywhere, and they arrest him. And he was put on some kind of house arrest in the hotel that the team was staying in. He couldn't leave the hotel room. So it became a situation where he might have got locked up in a Chinese penitentiary for shoplifting, because they don't take things like that lightly. In the U.S., you could live in San Francisco and shoplift to your heart. You can go in there like that. Remember that old school show where they give you this big cart? You just go in the store, fill it up real fast, and whatever you get, you can win. That's the way it is right now in San Fran, on the left coast in general. Okay, Seattle, Portland, but definitely San Fran Bay Area, steal whatever you want. It's not that way in China. Go over there and steal one item, and you're going to be in the gulag making big rocks and little rocks, or some kid's toy factory. I've seen that happen before too. I saw a guy get incarcerated and enslaved in the toy factory before in China. True story. It was a guy that wrote a note, and some Halloween toys that were going to Walmart, saying that he was enslaved and trapped in a Chinese factory. It was crazy. It was crazy, but that's kind of what goes on. All right. So Trump picks up the phone call. He picks the phone up and says, "Hey, you have our citizen over there. What can we do?" And sure enough, LiAngelo was let out of jail, and his teammates were let out of the jail or the confinement to the hotel, whatever it was. And they had to get told to thank Trump publicly by the school. It's like, why would you not thank Trump publicly for letting you out? You are in China. Do you understand kind of where you are? Some say, you know what, forget them. If they break the law, just let them stay over there, because clearly they don't understand. You can't just do whatever you want to do in a foreign country. Learn the hard way. Maybe so, but that's not even the point. The point is that Trump did that. Also with A$AP Rocky, the rapper who's currently with Rihanna, and they got a child together. He was in Sweden and got arrested for fighting. He was locked up. Again, here comes Trump to the rescue, got him out of jail. And then you got guys that get released domestically, not just abroad, but also domestically. Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, and a bunch of other guys. Guys that have been in jail since the 90s because of the crack laws, Trump freed them. But Brittney Griner decides to vote for Joe Biden. Why? And she said that in her letter to Joe Biden, pleading for his help. Now, hold on. I got a picture of Brittney Griner. You know, she is very tall and pretty masculine. She's like 6'8". And of course, she's LGBT, so they're trying to play that whole card. Oh, she's member in the letter. They, meaning her publicist or whoever, didn't put out much information. It didn't put out the whole letter. They put out excerpts from the letter to the general public. And in the letter, she was trying to stress how she has a wife. Trying to say, oh, I want to get back to my wife and my teammates. It's like, all right. And then when she's being discussed on air, they talk about wife. That's what they really refer to, because they know that'll give them a leg up. So here's Brittney Griner. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the right picture up first. All right. Because I want to make sure I'll show you the whole situation. 6'8". That's right, Nikki. Yes. You got some tall girls in the WNBA. She can dunk, but barely. I'm talking about very barely. And she don't do it often because she can't really do it. Now, if you got a 6'8" guy in the NBA, he's dunking like it ain't nobody's business. He's doing spin lay. I mean, I done seen 5'6" guys dunk. I done seen 5'6" guys dunk in real life, not just on television, but in the neighborhood. I've seen short guys dunk. This is why people don't watch the WNBA. It's not very exciting. You know, if I could pick between watching the NBA and the WNBA, it's no contest. But I digress. Oh, and that goes to what I was saying. I was not just trying to attack the WNBA. The reason why I said that is because she was in Russia to play basketball, because she does not make that much money here in the States playing for the WNBA. WNBA is not profitable at all. The only reason why they exist is because the NBA started it about 20 years ago as kind of an experiment. A lot of good college basketball players, a lot of ladies. Once college ball was done, they had no opportunity here in the States. It was, okay, if I want to keep playing basketball, I got to go overseas. And that was it. Now you got the WNBA. Girls are getting paid like $35,000. But if you go to Russia or somewhere else, Israel, whatever, you can make a lot of money playing basketball as a woman. So this is her right here. Okay, tied it up, gang member, all of that type of stuff. Dreads, 6'8", very recognizable, very popular person in the game. Okay, so that's her. This is her right here in Russia going to court. Now, I'm not sure why she's doing that with her eyes. I might have been a bad picture, but that's her right there in court. All right. Again, same place. Very tall. You can see the lady right there and the guard towering over them. She's 6'8". Now, this is Brittney Griner and her wife. You see how she's like pretty masculine and whatnot. Wife is more of the feminine type. So they want to use this right here as a way to, say, hey, come please save me. But the better thing to do for Brittney Griner, although it may not have worked possibly, but the better thing to do for her would have been to vote for the right guy. You got Joe Biden in there. Joe Biden has no intention of looking out for Brittney Griner. Why? It's not an election year for him. He won't gain anything from it. He doesn't need the black vote any more than what he already has it. If you get 90% of the black vote regardless, it don't matter if you help Brittney Griner or don't. Why would you call Vladimir Putin? Look, listen, okay. We're currently boycotting Russian energy because of the war in Ukraine. So we're going to hurt every person that goes to the pump and gets gas because we don't want Russian energy and we don't want to produce more here to meet the demand. They'll say stuff like, oh, we're producing more than before. Okay, well, before there was a lower demand. You're talking about during this pandemic where people were at home and they weren't driving as much. Of course, there will be lower demand. But if people are outside, as they say, as the cool kids say, they're outside, well, I need gas. We need more gas. It's going to be higher demand. And we're not producing it enough here. And we're trying to rely upon the Saudis to produce more because we don't want to go to Russia. So because of the whole Ukraine thing, we're boycotting Russia, therefore making our own pockets become thinner as a result. I did not sign up for that. I know you didn't as well. If somebody were to ask you, hey, man, is it worth paying at the pump $5 a gallon versus $2.50 to support Ukraine? I mean, anybody in the street you ask is going to say no. Anybody. If you see a person that says yes, you're not going to see them in the street pumping their own gas. If you got somebody that has $1 million just to burn, maybe they'll say, oh, it's great. Yeah, I don't mind paying the extra money. They got money to burn. They get $1 million every 2 days. They don't really care about what us as normies go through on a day-to-day basis as far as our finances. They don't care nothing about that. They care about themselves. But anyway, she wrote a letter to Joe Biden trying to get out, but I don't think it's going to really yield any positive results. I think she's pretty much just doomed over there in Russia. But we'll see. I don't really wish that on her. Hopefully she's able to go home, but I don't really see her coming home. But I'll keep that up to date and see what the next thing is going to be. I think what's happening right now is she's got to go to trial. But the problem with trial in Russia, you really don't win. They have a clearance rate higher than the federales, and the feds have like a 96% clearance rate, something like that. In Russia, you have less than 1% chance of being able to beat your case. She can't really beat the case because she got caught on camera doing it. They caught her at the airport with the stuff in their bag. So how you going to beat that? The only thing you can do is rely upon a guy like Joe Biden to get you out. But he has no plans of getting you out. The entire time that she's been over there, I've not really heard from him about her. Maybe he did say something, but I don't think so. I don't think he said anything because he has no reason to. But I digress. So Tierra Mack, you guys by now have heard about Tierra Mack, the Rhode Island state senator who was twerking to, I guess, promote herself. So Tierra Mack is a sitting state senator from Rhode Island. She's actually in office right now. And she's there right now. And she's trying to get reelected. So as part of her reelection campaign, she put out this video of her twerking upside down. Now, I can't play the video here, obviously. Well, I can play it. I got to play my video, but not the actual video. Hey, a lot of you guys, okay, I put out my video and I said, if you want to see the full twerking video, links in the box. That link got clicked quite a few times. I ain't going to say how many times, but you guys know who you are. You guys wanted to see that full twerking video. It was pretty gross, though. You know, like, here's my thing about it. Hold on. I'm going to just play what I have, and then I'll give my particular thoughts on it. Okay, let me just back up a little bit. This will be censored, so don't worry, guys. All right. So, here's her. I'm gonna discuss this particular piece right here in a moment. Y'all hang tight. So this is her right there, upside down twerking. Now I graded it out so you can't see, but she's twerking upside down, head literally in the sand. You cannot make this stuff up. I promise, I cannot make this stuff up. If I was a Hollywood director, this would still be beyond my imagination. All right, I got a pretty broad imagination, a pretty fast-paced mind, but this right here, head in the sand, upside down, twerking, and a thong bikini. First of all, second of all, it didn't work. So here's what she said at the end. Let's listen to what she says. Ew.
Vote Senator Mack.
Vote Senator Mack. So again, she's in office right now. This is not a try to elect me for the first time video. This is re-elect me. Re-elect me. Vote Senator Mack. As I was saying in my video, look, I understand if she was just a young girl on vacation, something like that. All right, whatever. But not as a 28-year-old sitting senator. Even if you are a young woman as a senator, you can't do stuff like that. You can, I suppose, but you shouldn't do it. Okay, you can do quite a few things. That doesn't mean you should do it. All right, twerking on a handstand with your head literally in the sand is not very good symbolism. All right, matter of fact, hold on. I want to play actually more of that because she responded. She reacted to the whole situation. my eyes. I tried to. I censored it so you couldn't see all of the stuff going on. She is gay, Miss Adams. That's correct. She is a part of the LGBT community. And I think they are the reason why she did this. You know, that's my opinion. They were like, hey, Tiara, you know the thing you can do with your butt? You got this really big butt, right? Okay, go on TikTok and do that. That'll help drum up votes. That probably was a conversation. I mean, I'm making that up, obviously. But if that happened, I would not be surprised at all. Nobody should be surprised at what's going on with the situation. We should all have seen it coming. We should have all seen it coming. But hey, that's what's going on. Now, as I said, she reacted. I'll play some of that. And if you hear my voice again and I'm not talking, you're not tripping. It's because this is my own video that I'm showing. All right. So let's see. Skip ahead a little bit. And if you guys can't see it, so okay, what I said right here was she was responding to comments on TikTok. So she put the video out, vote for me on twerking. It's at the third on her TikTok, and she got a lot of negative comments, a lot of negative feedback. So what she did was respond to the comments on her TikTok. And this right here says, set the race back years with this, which is correct. Because the stereotype is black women, you're not very smart, hypersexualized, all this, that, and the third. It don't matter if you got a degree or not. You're all the same. I don't like that stereotype, but people, they just keep doing stuff like this to live up to it, and they keep perpetuating it.
This is tacky. This is lazy. What? Baby girl. Baby girl. No, this ain't it.
Okay, now, this person claims to be 28, but I'm getting 42-year-old Popeyes employee. You understand? Remember when those the whole internet was gripped by the chicken sandwich for like a good year or two? The internets, the streets were gripped by the chicken sandwich. And there was that picture of the lady. I got to find that picture because it popped to my mind right now. Hold on. I got to find it because y'all know what I'm talking about. When them sandwiches dropped. Oh, okay. Here's her right here. Hold on. Here's her right here. When I saw that particular video right now, all I thought was this. That's all. I'm like, lady, that twerk did not do nothing for me. I can't do nothing with it. Okay. The uncensored version, I can't do nothing with it, man. All I see is Popeye's employee. You know, get back on shift because we need chicken sandwiches, we need sauces, we need the fries, the wild rice, and it won't cook itself. So come on, let's get to it. That's what I saw. You know what? I'm gonna tell a joke right here, but I'm kind of halfway dead serious, right? So listen. Tierra Mack put out a video of her twerking, talking about some vote for me, right? That was the pitch. I'm twerking, vote, re-elect me, because I'm already in office right now. I'm a sitting state senator. Re-elect me because I twerked. Now, that might work if it's like 2007 Rihanna. Remember, Umbrella, Ella. If it was her, she might have my vote. But you, Miss 42-year-old Popeyes employee, Walmart greeter, Hartsfield Jackson airport cleaner, I can't do nothing with that. All right, yeah, I'm not very excited. But you know what? I don't think it's for me or for you. It's for the LGBT people that hyped her to do it. Not saying everybody that's LGBT is going to be doing stuff like that, but her clique, her group are doing it. Oh, I almost forgot that the best part. The best part is this. Guess what she does for a living aside from being a state senator? Take one guess what she does for a living or what she has done for a living. Y'all let me know what you think it is. If you read up on it, don't spoil it. Take a wild guess. Hold on. I'll pull it up in a minute. All right. So stripper, no, ew, no. Anybody coming to see you, Otis? Anybody coming to see that? And if I go to a strip club, which I don't, because I'm a clean guy. If I was to go to a strip club, I ain't trying to see the cashier get on stage. It's like, man, you better get behind that counter and get these this door fee. you better be out there with the bouncers pounding dudes down. I ain't trying to car washer, drug dealer. Popeyes teacher. Somebody got it. Teacher. Yeah. Teacher. Yes. And okay, I got something to show you guys. Watch this. Anybody paying the money for no anybody gonna who would call her up? Hey, can I get the Popeyes employee? Can you bring her around here? Throw her in the back of the house. Don't nobody want that. But anyway, let me stop. So here is a tweet from her from this year, February this year. Really excited for the House sex ed bill hearing later today. Teaching comprehensive, queer inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed was a highlight of my time teaching. Okay. And she taught kids. It wasn't even like high school kids. These are like middle school, elementary. These are little kids she taught. Okay. So are you surprised that she would put a twerking video on TikTok talking about vote for me? I mean, how could you really be surprised about that, knowing the kind of background she has? Okay. We know what's going on with these teachers. We know the whole LGBT thing. They come into class with the flags on the wall. And, the thing about it is they'll say stuff like, oh, well, is it just about my lifestyle and who I love? Why should it matter who I love? We don't care about who you love. You can love somebody in the privacy of your own home, okay? That's not my business. What you're not going to do is groom children into being just whatever you want them to be. Amoral, disgusting. Don't groom these children. Leave the kids alone. If you want to find some adult that's on the same wave that you are, then go for it. Y'all adults, y'all could do whatever you want to do, but leave the kids out of it. That's all that we request. That really shouldn't be a big request, right? That shouldn't really be a big thing that we can that we're going to argue over. But for some reason, it is. Right? Okay, let me make sure. I got everything. Yeah, so that was it. So Tierra Mack is a sitting state senator in Rhode Island, not the U.S. Senate, obviously. This is, there's two white guys that are the senators from Rhode Island, and it's not Tierra Mack. Tierra Mack is in state government, so they report to the governor, whereas kind of report to the governor. Basically, if they sign off on laws, the governor can pass it as law in that state, if they can pass laws in that state for a particular thing. But the U.S. senators, when they sign off on law, the president of the U.S. signs off on it, and it becomes federal law. That's how that goes. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. I saw Tucker. I saw his take on it, and it was hilarious. Totally hilarious. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find that clip right quick because I think he said what grades she teaches. Let me try to find that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. All right. Let me see if I can find it right quick. And shout out to the Dutch farmers. I've been following that story as well. But I think the government shut down some farms in was that Netherlands because they wanted to reduce greenhouse emissions by 30%. So now there's a revolt. The farmers are revolting as a result of that. Yeah, it's a serious issue. You guys know more than I do about that. Y'all let me know in the comments what's going on with it. Yeah. Okay. Here's Tucker's clip. I'm trying to find what I want to find right quick. Yeah, he already, hold on.
Sex ed bill hearing later today. Teaching comprehensive, queer, inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed was a highlight of my time teaching. And you got to wonder, since she just summarized everything the Democratic Party is for, why isn't her own party embracing her? Why?
It's funny because the Democratic Party, they talk about all these things, being inclusive, being open to new blood, all this, that, and the third, but they keep putting out people like Hillary Clinton. It's like, what do you say one thing and do something else. You got a PR campaign that doesn't really match what you do on the ground. It doesn't really match. I'm going to get to the Illinois shooting here as far as what I know. Matter of fact, before I get to the Illinois shooting, I'm going to get to the Jerome Davison clip. But first, I got another clip. This is from the Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney. Now, there's been some shootings in Philadelphia. I think there was one recently at a Independence Day celebration. I think it was 2 shot, maybe 2 killed. I'm not really sure. But there was a shooting at a July 4th celebration. And here is the mayor's response to all of what's going on. He's sick of it. He's sick of y'all. And pardon the caption. Please pardon the caption. I didn't write it. This person says, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney is tired of you N-words. And I would never say nothing like that. And the mayor did not say the N-word, just to let you know. I have to address what's on the screen and also tell you that the mayor didn't say anything like that. But he's sick of all of what's going on. Listen to what he's saying after he's asked a question about the continuous shootings and violence in the city.
I'm concerned every single day. There's not an event or a day where I don't lay on my back at night, look at the ceiling, and worry about stuff. So everything we have in the city over the last 7 years, I worry about. I don't enjoy 4th of July. I don't enjoy the Democratic National Convention. I didn't enjoy the NFL draft. I'm waiting for something bad to happen all the time. So I'll be happy when I'm not here, when I'm not mayor, and I can enjoy some stuff. So,
you're looking forward to not being mayor?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? He was like, look, every day I worry about something bad happening in the city of Philadelphia. I can't wait till I'm not the mayor anymore. I cannot wait until I'm not the mayor anymore. Then I don't got to worry about it. and he doubled down. The reporter was like, you don't want to be the mayor anymore? It's like, yeah, I'm one out right now. I mean, because as a mayor, it's like, what can you really do? What can you do with a city that's so violent and so ridiculous? What is it to do? You got certain areas of the country, I mean, of the city that are just terrible. Kensington, open air heroin market, everybody over there falling over, drooling over fentanyl. It's a mess. You got open air drug markets, constant shooting, gang violence, ridiculous, brainless nonsense. It's like, what are you to do? Yeah, he smiled because he's serious. He's not joking. It's like, yeah, no, I'm one out right now. Totally honest. See, people don't really want to see that from politicians. They want a politician to lie to them. They want them to go up there and say, well, I'm very concerned about the violence in Philadelphia, and we're going to do all that we can. We're going to be vigilant. We're going to be on it. We have police out here. They're going to do neighborhood patrols, and they're going to talk to the community, and they're going to really be involved. He knows getting well that won't work. There are certain elements of the city that are just going to be there and do stuff like this. And if you kind of soft on crime at the same time, you know there ain't nothing going to be going on. If you letting these nuts, what they say in Philadelphia, if you're letting these nuts be out here and just shoot and don't lock them up, and when they do get locked up, they get slaps on the wrist and released right back in the wild, you're going to have continuous crime and violence. You got to be like a communist dictator. And if you get caught stealing, you get the chair. You got to be like that in a place like Philadelphia with rampant crime and violence. Being serious. That's right, Germanic Spaniard. We need RoboCop, Judge Dredd, Terminator, all of that. Put them all on the streets, and you'll see crime reduced. Oh yeah. I personally like Judge Dredd. Give me a bunch of Judge Dredds out there, and we'll get it fixed. But if you have officers that can't really arrest you, and when they do arrest you, you get released right back into the wild, it's like you kind of spinning your wheels, you're wasting your time. What's the purpose in doing anything like that? You're going to have crime and violence at an extreme level. Okay, I want a tough mayor, tough police force, tough prosecutors, judges. You know, whenever you go before a judge and you got a violent crime, okay, you got caught on body-worn camera with the gun, you shot at police, you got a long rap sheet, you need to go up under the penitentiary, point blank, period. And I saw that police shooting. What was that? In Ohio? Was it in Akron, Ohio? The guy. And they talking about I think it was a tweet from Bishop Talbert, that weird bishop on Twitter. Talking about he got shot. He was unarmed 60 times by the police. Well, it was a traffic stop, I think, and he sped off, and somebody from inside the car shot at the police. He gets out of the car with his ski mask on, so you can't tell if he's black or white, because the bishop was like, oh, he was shot because he was black and unarmed. He had a ski mask on, so you can't tell if he's black or white. All the police know is that they tried to approach somebody, stop him or whatever. They get shot at as the people are fleeing from inside the car. And when they catch up to him, he hops out, or somebody from the car hops out, and they got a ski mask on, and they run. As the guy's running, he turns and faces the officers, and they open fire. Why they open fire? Well, somebody just shot at them from the car. And as they're following the car after the shooting happens, somebody hops out of the car and begins to run with a ski mask on. So logic would state that if somebody was inside the car shooting, and when we approach him, somebody gets out, it's probably him. Now, the gun was not on him, but there was a gun inside the car. So what probably happened was you shot the weapon, or somebody else did, probably him, put the gun in the car, left it right there on the ground or the seat or whatever, and then left trying to escape. That's what happened. So, I mean, this whole unarmed, you can't say somebody was unarmed when you ran from the police, somebody inside the car shot at the police. At that point, anybody unarmed. Okay? If you are in the car and you're a passenger and it's a high-speed chase and you're involved in, you're going to jail too. You wouldn't just be riding in the car having a good old time. They got a Hellcat, SRT, whatever it is. You riding for a good time, knowing full well the guy you riding with is a criminal gangbanger. He'll shoot you for no reason. Guns all in the car, illegal guns in the car. Guns got bodies on them. Guns that were stolen. All kind of stuff going. Drugs and alcohol all in the car. Y'all in the car smoking weed. Y'all hot as a firecracker, right? You get pulled by the police. He has warrants. He has all kind of stuff in the car. He doesn't want to go to jail. Now it's a high-speed chase. You're in the car. You're going to jail. I mean, if you don't want to go to jail, you better be a songbird. Tell everything. Tell everything. They say, hey, man, do you know him? Yeah, his name is Billy Graham. He lives on XYZ Main Street. He got the guns right there, the drugs right there. He fought this dude yesterday, and he had a black eye. He went to XYZ hospital. You got to tell everything. But now you're in danger because you told. The moral of the story is, if you don't want to be involved in crime, then don't be involved in crime. Don't be anywhere near around it. If that means getting away from the so-called hood, and so be it. So what? Who wants to be there if you don't got to be there? Nobody. But I will digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Why run, Nikki? Exactly. What's the point in running? Probably because he didn't want to go to jail. A lot of these guys run because they know they're about to go to jail. They got warrants, or they got something on them, drugs on them. They might be high on drugs. They don't want to go to jail. Okay. Now, the Illinois shooting, this one is just kind of all over the place. So let me go and get the official number. I think it's 7 that have died, last I checked, and many more injured. Let me get the numbers right here. So there's 7 that died, and they got the suspect. He's been charged 7 counts of murder. Let me see. Okay, they're not gonna. So it had risen to 8 as far as the death toll, but it's at 7. That's the official number. And there are many more that were injured, but I don't have the exact number of those that were injured. So the guy, it was at a Highland Park, Illinois, which is a North Chicago suburb. And this is where Michael Jordan lived. I think they filmed parts of Home Alone. This is a very affluent area, very, very affluent area. And this guy got on the rooftop somehow and shot down at the crowd, shot a lot of people, broad daylight, and killed 7 so far. Hopefully it doesn't rise at all. But this guy dressed in women's clothing to avoid detection. So what he did was he did the shooting and then fled with the crowd in a disguise. But ultimately he was found. Now he's in custody and he won't come home anymore. People are trying to compare his capture to the Akron shooting. Oh, this guy, 60 shots, and the shooter who killed 7 people, they brought him in alive. That's so silly. I mean, whenever they say that, I say DC sniper. This guy was sniping people for, I felt like it was months. You know, that whole thing was crazy when that was going on, because I'm from Virginia and he was shooting people in like a Northern Virginia, DC. I got family out there too. I got a lot of family in DC. So I was worried about them. I was worried about myself and other family members in Virginia. I thought they might try to come to 95 and start shooting us, because he was like in Woodbridge and places like that. Like, don't come no more south and start shooting us. But anyway, the DC sniper was able to be captured without any kind of problem. He's black. And it was 2 of them. I forget what happened to the dad or whatever, whoever that was, the mentor. I don't know. They're not telling the full story behind that one. I'll leave that right there. But anyway, Lee Boyd Malvo, I think that was his name. They caught him with no incidents because he didn't resist. Yeah, he was legit dangerous. DC sniper, legit dangerous. Yes. I mean, people were getting shot at gas stations, and you couldn't really tell where it was coming from because he shot from the trunk of the car. It was like a little hole in the trunk of the car. He'd be in there shooting people. You had no idea where it was coming from. It was really scary during that time. But here's the guy that they caught in Illinois. His name, I don't know at this moment, not really relevant. But he was dressed like this. And they're trying to say he was a Trump supporter. I mean, there is pictures of him with a Trump flag, but there's also this, dressed in women's clothing. But the guy he was crazy. He had problems already. They knew about it. Social media postings. And one thing I'm going to say about that, social media, people say, well, if you go to his Instagram or Twitter or whatever, his Facebook, wherever he was posting, he was saying crazy things at that time. Well, it's kind of hard to really do anything with that. Unless somebody sees it and reports it and is like concerned, what are they really going to do? I mean, can you get arrested for saying things that are kind of concerning? I mean, I don't really know what can happen. I think that that is a guy. Yes, that's a guy. This guy right here, that's a male dressed as a woman, because this was like right during the shooting or after the shooting. After he shot the people in Chicago, Highland Park, Chicago suburb, he was dressed like this and was able to leave by blending in with the crowd. So that's kind of what happened. But this situation, he was captured without incident because he didn't resist. Same thing with DC Sniper. That's just kind of what it was. Okay, but we'll see what's going to happen here. Social media and stuff, you can't really do anything about that, because unless somebody sees it and they report, or I don't know what can happen. They might try to include that stuff in the red flag law. Okay, I went to your Twitter profile and you were saying some concerning things. I've gotten a call like that before. I've got a call like that, not from the federales or police, from like somebody I know, about what I post online. And it was nothing. It was benign. So, and my question is, what determines concerning behavior on social media? Who is the arbiter of what's concerning? Now, there are some clear things, like if you say, I'm going to shoot X, Y, and Z place up, you might want to look into that. Okay. Or like I was watching this thing about these hackers. Because remember, I got swatted. You guys may not remember about that a few years ago. There's a Netflix special about people getting swatted and about the one guy that died because they went to the wrong house, and it was crazy. But anyway, what was I trying to say? I was talking about the swatting, and I forgot my point I was trying to make. I forgot. But I did watch that special about the whole swatting thing. And they were talking about, that the guy had a Twitter page where he would brag about doing the swatting. So if you see something like that, okay, somebody gets swatted, you're bragging about it, you might want to put two and two together. And eventually they did put it together. They used a Twitter page, tracked him back, his name and all of that, tracked him back, and they were able to find where he was at and arrest him, because when he swatted the person that died, he bragged about it. So it was easy to go ahead and just find him on Twitter, find him in real life, and arrest him. Now he's in the penitentiary. And the crazy part is that he, the guy that got arrested, had been in jail before for doing the same thing. So it was like, okay, you got a criminal record of swatting. You are on Twitter bragging about doing more swatting. It's easy to put two and two together, but I'm not sure that you can do that before a bad incident happens. But if you're doing anything with that and there's a swatting, it may not be a bad outcome, but you still need to be held accountable from your online postings. And I will say this, though. The police are on social media. They are going into your DMs. They are finding out what you're talking about. They are watching you. Oh, yeah, they are watching you. You saying things that are kind of weird, they might pull up on you. But I think a lot of times they miss people that shouldn't be missed. But then again, I got to back up a little bit and say this. I think that it's like the southern border a little bit. You catch a lot of people at the southern border, but a lot more get through. Now, my question would be, how many people get caught doing a thing or conspiring to do a thing through social media, the internet in general? How many get caught and prevented versus those that don't get caught and follow through with the whole situation? That's kind of what I want to know, because that'll give me a better idea of what the authorities are really doing when it comes to our safety. All right. But that get everything I wanted to get to. The Illinois shooting, Brittney Griner. Oh, my man Jerome Davison. Shout out to Jerome Davison. I don't know him personally, but his ad is amazing. I'll show this right quick, and then I get to the super chats and the calls. So y'all hang tight for that one. So he put out an ad for his campaign running for Congress in Arizona. And he's displaying why you need an AR-15. Let me go ahead and put this up right quick. Give me 1 second to get the proper video. And here we go. Boom. So his caption says, "Make rifles great again," with the flexing emoji. And it says JeroneForCongress.com and hashtag JeroneForCongress, hashtag 2A, and hashtag self-defense. And his name is Jerone with an N, not an M. And Davison, no D after the VI, right? Let's go ahead and play it right quick in case you haven't seen it.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
Boom. Perfect. Perfect. And that's exactly the truth. As far as like if you have a mob descending upon you. Like remember the McCloskeys in St. Louis when they had the BLM stuff going on? I mean, they had those little I think the father or the husband, he had a rifle, but his wife had this little handgun. It's like, you ain't gonna do nothing with that. So that's really important. I've seen videos, not just, campaign ads like this, but I've seen videos of people suffering a home invasion, ready to be 4 or 5 guys all armed, breaking into your crib while you're there. So what are you gonna do? You have no weapon. You're pretty much out back. They can do whatever they want to you at that point. If you have a handgun, you have a fighting chance a little bit, but you're going to be outpowered by 5 guys with handguns. But if you have a rifle, 30 rounds in the mag, you can really do some things. It's more accurate. You're able to kind of hide and move around, your house more. It's better overall. And the great touch to this video right here was the Klan guys with the Democrat logo on their shirts. That's wonderfully done. Perfect, beautiful. And that's the truth. That's really what it was. So that was a very well done ad. Shout out to Jerome Davison. I don't know him personally, but I saw the ad and I'm with it. He's running for Congress in Arizona. So if you're in his district, check him out. If you like him, rock with him. If not, then it's fine. I'm not sure he's running against. If he's, if it's somebody that's established that everybody likes, I have no idea. But that ad is fantastic. So shout out to him and shout out to whoever made that ad for him. You guys did fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and get to the let's get to the super chats here, and then we get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me make sure I got the right super chats loaded up here. And let's get to it here. All right, today's, July 6th. Let's start with Apu. Got me a few super chats here. He says, you see Biden put Medal of Honor on Fat Man backward? No, I didn't. He put the Medal of Honor on backwards. Hold on. I'm going to try to find that video right quick. Okay. So here we go. Here's the video. I've not seen it. The caption says, Biden awarded veterans of the U.S. Vietnam War. He placed the medal wrong way around on his back. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's check it out. Oh my goodness. What, sir, do you see this? Biden, what are you doing? So the medal is on his back. Wow, that's crazy. So the ribbon part, I guess you call it the ribbon part, is like a choker on his neck. But the metal part of it is behind him on his back. So when the guy turns around, he's like kind of confused. Look, you see, he's like, that's not how it goes, sir. Wow. Am I seeing this? Am I tripping, or was metal on him properly? I don't know what's happening. Wow. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. All right. So there's an extended video. Let me make sure that we get it right here. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's more. It looks terrible. I mean, Joe Biden pretty much got 2 feet in.
Specialist 5, Dennis M. Fujii.
So now you have now they're showing him how to do it. And they won't allow Biden to put the medal on the next person. That's crazy. Now he didn't fix it. He don't know what's going on. Had to bring a soldier out there to go ahead and get her done. I mean, and the whole age excuse ain't no excuse. Because if you're a Vietnam vet, you probably old like Joe Biden is, probably around the same age. That was nuts. Thank you, Apu, for that one. That was crazy. Let me go back to these. You say it's God bless innocent victims of July 4th, Chicago. Hold on. I got to make sure I bookmark that. I'm put that on my Instagram, matter of fact. Yeah, that's going straight to IG, straight to the reels. Apu also says, Chicago, 4th of July, another crime FBI stops. Not Seth Rich, Vegas, Parkland, Uvalde, Buffalo, Larry Nassar, FBI. Could have stopped or solved, but didn't. Correct. Exactly. You see Joey Chestnut take down protester and still win? No. Hold on. See, you're giving me news tips right here live on the show, and I'm checking them out. So, were the pictures of the medal the right way after they straightened it out, or were the pictures taken during, you see what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm gonna find it now. Now I gotta find it. Now I gotta make sure that I'm saying the right thing. Speaking about what we just saw with the metal going on backwards, something was wrong with it. It most certainly was. Okay. So maybe they redid it. I don't know. Yeah, now it appears to be on the right way. That was pretty confusing. Yeah, it was on the right way. All right, let me get back to the supers. Favorite foreign country you like to visit, ABL? Probably Japan. That's where I want to go. Top of the mind, Japan. Let me go over there. Michael D'Angelo says, what's my opinion of CERN? Always got to hear ABL's tape before forming an opinion. LOL, thanks. I don't know about CERN, actually. I think I've heard about that. It's like the weather manipulation system, right? Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about it. That's not really my wheelhouse. I had to get back to you on that. I got to do some reading on that one. I don't really know too much about it. Fat Planet says, that's PHAT Planet. Fat Planet says, I visited Georgia Guidestones. That place is surrounded by cameras. The authorities know exactly what happened. Know what I'm saying? he said, no, saying, yeah, I think they did it on purpose. I don't think that they destroyed. I don't think that there was a demolition that was unauthorized. I'm sure they did that on purpose. Well, I think they did it on purpose. Thank you to Fob Hopper, who says, at Anthony Brown Logan, Georgia Bureau of Investigation has released surveillance footage of the explosion this morning on their Twitter page, Twitter handle at GBIGA. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it on out right quick. And let's see. All right. Okay, we got some good footage right here. So GBI, that's Georgia Bureau of Investigations, they put out this video and it says the GBI is releasing surveillance video from this morning's explosion that destroyed the Georgia Guidestones. So let's see what we have here. And somebody drove their vehicle. Yeah, so they got cars, but I mean they got cameras that sees the car, but I guess it didn't really matter if anybody right there on the scene to stop it, you know. Okay, that's not what I want to find. Hold on. Oh, so it was an explosion. Wow. Okay. Let's run that back. So, was it just the one car that set that explosion and destroyed the Georgia Guidestones? Is that what we believe in? Can one person do something like that to these big stones? I guess that's what happened. That's what they're saying. And then they said they went ahead and destroyed the rest of the Guidestones for safety reasons. So that's when you had the crew come out there with the excavator, as somebody told me earlier, to go ahead and destroy the rest. So it wouldn't be any kind of hazard. If you go out there and it falls on you, that could be a bad situation, right? Hey, reptilian research, they're always filmed on the potato. There's never any kind of clear footage. They got all this technology. They can go all the way to Mars, allegedly, but you can't get me footage that's beyond the original PlayStation graphics. I mean, come on. What are we doing? It's 2022. Let's get our surveillance camera game all the way up. I'm not trying to hear any excuses. You can get better surveillance on the Ring camera. All right. You go to Home Depot right now, spend $80 on the camera. That'll do better than that. But I digress. Thank you to Eric Burns Marshall, who says, when they tried to scare us with the guy in the cave on the dialysis machine, that was my red pill moment. Yeah, talking about Bin Laden, that was a mess. Or Bin Laden or Saddam, Uday and Crusade. Remember that whole thing? That was, looking back on it, it was crazy. It was like they found some kind of boogeyman to chase. Thank you to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, who says, showing support. Great work, sir. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Dotslav Atman Carey, who says, hashtag keep fighting. Thank you. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, pistachios, yes or no. I like pistachios occasionally. I'm not necessarily the kind of guy who's going to go get a whole bag of pistachios and just eat them in one sitting, but occasionally I enjoy me a pistachio. Shell on, shell off, like a sunflower seed, right? Yeah. Thank you to 666 King Drummer, who says, have you been following the nonsense going on in the Netherlands? It's crazy. It reminds me a lot of what our government has tried to, for years, to try and snatch up oil fields. Yeah, I've been watching that, keeping my eye on it, see what's going on. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to me. You know, I don't really understand the full context of it, but it's been pretty crazy. Thank you to Laura Catherine for your thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Boat vs. Windshield, who says, please look into the DEF emergency. Without That if modern diesel engines will not work, massive amounts of truck and farm machinery will shut down. Look into it. Shelves will be bare. Yeah, that's a problem. Thank you to Mortimer Duke, who says an Ivy League education doesn't mean nearly as much as it once did, and she's not helping. No, it doesn't mean as much as it once did, because now you have indoctrination and less education. That's the issue. And then they're lowering the standards, they're cheapening the end result. And if you keep lowering, and you keep pushing for more inclusion, diversity, all this other X, Y, and Z woke stuff, what is going to be the quality of your end result of what you're trying to get for education? And then if you go for some kind of liberal arts or something that's not really useful in the world, that's going to be an issue. Bo versus Windshield says, pride is a sin. Why not promote Greed Month? Well, good point. Bo versus Windshield says, I got $20 that says Crimo D-Bag is from Antifa. He fits the mold perfectly. Speaking about the shooter from Highland Park. I wouldn't doubt it. Thank you to Miss Queen, who says, love your channel, love your content. Military people are the only true melting pot of the USA. We don't care about politics, social issues. We want a good life for all. There is no race in the military, only battle buddies. Thank you for that. That's a very good word from you. Thank you to Zen Christopher, who says, Georgia Tower of Babel guidestones are completely demolished. We need to open up that time capsule underneath and expose who put those up. Keep up the great work, ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I also forgot about the what's the name underneath? The time capsule underneath. I almost forgot about that. There's a time capsule right up under there. So they've destroyed the stones, and the stones are probably going to be there for a while. So if the stones are right there, are you going to be able to access the underground area? Probably so, but it might be a little more difficult for you. Thank you to Roger Wood, who says, all the CMOH ribbons were shortened in anticipation to award small neck animation Private Jessica, the one with the two moms. Okay. Thank you to Ryan N, who says, Free Santa 1776 Restoration Movement, American flag emoji. Thank you. Thank you to Terry Williams, who says, Biden gave away more oil barrels to China. Oh, of course. It's so silly what we're doing in this country. I don't understand the purpose. Is it to destroy the country? Is it to try and pay off debt that we owe to China? Like, what are we actually doing? Did he have some kind of blood oath you got to follow through on? That's what I want to know. I want to know what's the purpose of doing what he's doing. I can't really tell at this moment, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This is a podcast. It will be available in audio streaming form on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor. The link for that will be in the description. And now it's time for the calls. And the number is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get it cracking. If you want to call in through Skype, there's an email in the description for that. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and talk about whatever's going on. Just don't be calling crazy, because you will get hung up on immediately. And I don't play any kind of games. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking here. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. It's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, man. That political ad from Arizona made me want to send that man money.
Yeah.
That is what the Republican Party needs to do. They got to show the people of America that they're willing to fight and not just roll over and take it. And that's these go along rhino Republicans that are getting rich along with Nazi Pelosi and Joe Biden.
Exactly.
I don't begrudge it. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you're right on point.
I don't begrudge anybody from getting wealthy. I mean, you haven't heard of a billionaire, self-made billionaire named Mr. Ringhaver. His father built little fishing boats in Jacksonville, Florida, and they were buying so many Caterpillar engines that Caterpillar had them buy a dealership. And so his son ran the dealership, Ringhaver, and then his other son ran Ring Power. And the older brother became a self-made billionaire. One of the first companies Caterpillar dealerships in the world to make $1 billion in 1 year. That was phenomenal. But, I never begrudged him. If he came in the shop, I said, Mr. Ringhaver, flying metal don't care if you're rich or poor. He'll take your eye out just the same. But he was a good sport about it. He says, yeah, it's my rule. And he put on safety glasses, But, I don't begrudge people for getting rich, Sometimes I think, man, it'd be great. And then, probably a couple million problems I don't need. There's two sides to every coin. My daughter, she's extremely gorgeous. And I told her, beauty is a double-edged sword. It attracts attention, but it can attract the wrong kind of attention. And you don't want that. You got to be smart enough and educated enough to weave your way through that. And ABL, this is all being done on purpose. Since the beginning of the virus, Trump didn't want to shut down the economy. They forced him to. If you go, these days, what I found out, if there's important information that you've seen on the video on the internet, you better grab your cell phone or something and record that video so that you have a copy of it, because they delete them all the time. They scrub the internet clean. Prime example, George W. Bush did not have any use for that man, did not like him at all. And for the life of me, I had no use for him, thought he's dumb as a box of rocks. But he did give a speech where he tried to stop Barney Frank and Dodd from destroying the economy with their giving welfare moms McMansions, that houses they couldn't afford to pay. Because deep down inside, Bush wanted everybody to have a house. Well, that's a great goal, but if something given is not appreciated.
Right.
If you don't work for it, you're just not going to appreciate it. And it's just a fact of life. I mean, wealthy people raise their kids to appreciate the wealth that they've accumulated. Unfortunately, I don't know about Elon Musk. I think he's too busy in two companies to be home playing dad there for a while, but I don't know. But this was all being done on purpose for the New World Order. New World Order. Because if you ever saw the pictures of the presidents from the Bushes, the Clintons, this is my dad loves that man. Bill Clinton's my brother from another mother. My daddy loves him. Him and Hillary come out to the ranch all the time. Peas in a pod. Same pod. And then the Obamas are jumping on board. And then they're in the center of all the photographs with everybody else. It's one big happy family. Then here comes Trump. Trump doesn't take any of the money. He doesn't want any of the insider deals. He knocks over China's apple cart. He says, no, you're going to start paying taxes and stuff. And they explode. They go insane. What do you mean you're going to put America first? We're putting our wallets first. The hell with this country. We're selling it out. Why? Because it sucks being poor in a socialist country. And I want to close with this. You don't judge a country by how the people at the top are living. Anybody living at the top of any kind of government will be living the best life. You judge a government by how the people at the bottom are living. And the poorest people in America are living wealthy lives in parts of Asia and Africa and even parts of Eastern Europe. And that's what I'll close with, brother. I love your show. God bless. Oh, yeah, you've been spot on with these representatives showing both sides of the aisle. The Democrat from Rhode Island, oh, my God. I got an Ivy League university. Yeah, and I know girls that are high school dropouts that are in better shape and look better twerking. I'll leave that right there, brother. God bless you.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yep.
All righty. Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, what's up, bro? Bro, that Tierra Mack twerk video is, it will only come from a community who doesn't hold anyone accountable, doesn't have any cultural standards, and makes excuses for a lot of things. Because looking at that video, I'm trying to see where all like the black feminists at coming out saying, you know, that's not how you represent us. Or I'm trying to see where all the black big, you know, political figureheads saying anything, you know, but they're quiet. So once again, this is another one of those let's excuse bad behavior just so we can put some Democrat in office. You know what I'm saying? Because that type of disrespect would not happen with any other community. No one would dare try to pander to any other community's vote by having a woman twerk like that and say, vote for me. You know, people who do that really think you are dumb. Like I have no else of saying it. When you and this is the danger to it. And you know, black people are kind of accountable for this, especially the ones. Well, I would say more of the black liberal who always votes Democrat, no matter how disrespected, no matter what's said about them, they will never fold. You know, when you put out this message, blue no matter who, that means we don't ever have to talk about policies with you. We never have to talk about tangibles. You guys just want to play around all the time. You know, you're not to be taken seriously. So when it comes to you, yeah, we're gonna have a couple, you know, naked women dance. Man, you remember that ad that came out in 2020 where a bunch of strippers were dancing, and then they stopped to talk about voting?
I remember that. That was crazy.
Bro, like now here's the thing, you know, that right there is clearly targeted towards black men. And what that shows me is that the Democrats think that black men are just a bunch of sexual deviants. And the only way to get them to vote is to first throw some eye candy at them to get their attention, and then have some strippers tell them what to do. I mean, it's insulting. It is unbelievable. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Tierra Mack can do a video like that and still win.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to affect her. And this is what I'm telling you, bro. This is why Dora said this is why the black community will never have any political power and will be complaining about the exact same things for the next 100 years. More towards the black liberal, because they hold nobody accountable. They have no standards. You know, they always say, like, take, for example, Tierra Mack can dance. And they will say, well, she doesn't represent all black people. But if you don't call that out, or if you support it, then she is a representation of you because you are endorsing it. You're not saying anything about it. Therefore, anyone can stereotype us. So, yeah, this is why stereotypes come about, man. It's videos like that. And for it to not be shunned by the black community to where she can issue an apology instead of coming out saying, I made right-wing conservatives mad. I mean, for her not to do that, that means she's not learning anything. And then it sets a standard. You want the black vote, you know, do like Hillary Clinton, eat some fried chicken, or go to Roland Martin and you know, dance or do the Tootsie Roll, or, you know, maybe have Cardi B do a strip dance, man. So, yeah, man, that's all I want to comment on that Tierra Mack embarrassment. And then, you know, the other thing, man, is I have been paying really close attention to the Wyoming Republican race, because I feel like this race is really another referendum on Trump, and that's with Liz Cheney. And man, have you seen highlights of her debates against her opponent?
No, I haven't.
You know, now Liz Cheney made a comment, and it was weird to me. She said, I just want all the girls watching to know that the men who are running the world has done a poor job. Now, let me ask you, why would she say something like that? I mean, first of all, I've never heard a conservative say that, but why do you think Liz Cheney would say some nonsense like that?
I mean, I'm thinking about the abortion issue. That's probably my first, that's where my mind goes first, is the whole abortion thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking she's saying that because she is getting whipped so bad in Wyoming that she's trying to get Democrats to vote for her.
Yeah.
You know, even when you go to a website, she is telling Democrats how to switch parties. I mean, how traitorous is that? Like, instead of appeasing your own voters, instead of appeasing the people who put you in power, you stick the middle finger up to them and you go to the opposition and say, help me, help me. I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. This one is huge because if she wins, I can already see the media saying that Trump is not effective no more. She is on the January 6th staff and she impeached Trump and she still held her seat. So I'm just saying, everyone in Wyoming, this one is serious. Everyone is watching this one. Liz Cheney went in the debate and she's still talking about January 6th. She's ignoring the needs of Wyoming. You know, she's just coming in and she's just selling out. And I hope the people in Wyoming understand that and vote her out. And that's all I got to say, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Great call. Yeah, I haven't really been watching that, but I need to kind of follow up on it and see what's happening. 323, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Joe from Los Angeles. How are you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, you spoke earlier about the Russian incident and the lady being remanded for having drugs. And you spoke about Leandro Ball and that incident. And first of all, I'm an alumni from UCLA. And I might be telling my age, but I did participate in sports with the Kersey team, Coach Kersey, Jackie, and the late Flojo. And it was a complete
you ran track?
Yes. And it was a complete embarrassment on the athletic team overall, what happened there. And so I just want to put that out there. And second of all, this lady who's running for the Rhode Island senator, one of my pet peeves is when Black women get these platforms and they do stuff like that. It's embarrassing as well. And right here in Los Angeles, we have a Black woman, Karen Bass. I think she's a congressman or congresswoman running for mayor here. And I'm like, this has got to stop. Not saying that Karen Bass is a bad woman, but she doesn't have a record for doing anything for the Black community. But I don't know who's putting these Black women out there in these public platforms to run for these high positions. But why are we continuing to not dive into their character, what they've done for the community, Black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever? Why are they running? It's so much going on with this, with these elections and everything, and this new day and era where everybody just wants to put on to have entertainment in their politics. It's got to stop, because that's what it is with these Black women. To me, it's like you can go down the list: Atlanta, San Francisco, all these Black mayors who are females. They're doing nothing but going to these entertainment shows, or they're doing things in their marriages. What you want to call it out, you can call it out, but it's got to stop. And that's all I got to say. I didn't hear about it until today, until I was watching the show. I had no idea that this woman did this. This lady from Rhode Island. I'm like, what in the world? I mean, this wouldn't have happened even 5 years ago. I mean, I just don't get it. So it's got to stop, and there's no excuse. And she should be ashamed. And her, if anybody votes her in or votes her back in, they need to, get their head examined, basically, because there's no reason that we're a woman and we're going on all places what is it, the channel she's on, I forget the name of it, but the new one that's there, TikTok, and do that kind of stuff and think it's okay. It's not. It really isn't. I don't care if she's white, Black, Puerto Rican, whatever. It's just not okay if you're a public figure to be out there like that, doing that. That's strip stores, strip kind of, imaging and prostitution, you name it, whatever. So it's got to stop. And Black women, please, just, handle yourself much better than this, because we are better people. We are strong. We work. We do things that everybody else do in the right way. But this is not giving us any type of good image as far as who we are. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, great call. That whole thing with the state senator in Rhode Island. That was a complete mess. A complete mess. All right, Matt, what's happening?
Anthony, what are you doing, man?
Ain't too much, man. Just, enjoying the show.
Yeah, it's a good one today. Hey, the Taliban blows up statues like that. That was my first thought when I saw that.
Yeah, they do.
It's iconoclasm. It's all about tearing down what's there before and not really explaining what you're going to replace it with, because it's not like the pigs in the animal farm kind of explained what they were going to replace the farmers with. Then eventually they become the farmers and the roles change in the middle of the night, and you've got no bearings as to why you even started your country in the first place. Because everything gets memory hold, especially if you get rid of traditions. And that's basically what they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah, that makes sense.
And then I don't know why everybody's so upset about the twerking. First of all, it was great twerk. And second of all, that's the black culture now. I mean, that's what it is.
I refuse to accept it. Like that's not my culture. The twerking, that's them over there. That's those blacks on that side of those side of the tracks.
I think Trump might actually get more black men this time. I think he actually might get the majority of the black men vote. And you follow like a lot of memes like from or a lot of like social media, like the example of that post where that woman was upset at the dude for just bringing his kid McDonald's and not all of her kids McDonald's.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of a schism that's forming in the black community because right now the black community, based on what I see, it's a matriarchal society. The women run the black community, and the men are usually the ones deemed valuable are kind of simpish a little bit, and the ones that have a backbone just kind of stay out of it and start their own families, try not to get involved in whatever it is they move. But I'm seeing a schism. I'm seeing like more black men kind of supporting the conservative side of the argument versus the twerking side of the argument. Have you noticed that too?
That's been going on for a long time, as far as the war really between black men and black women. That's a really old thing. And really, if you look at, let's say, for example, like the average ghetto, if you look at it, who's there? I mean, you have the women with the children, and sometimes you have like a 16-year-old male that appears to be an adult, but he's not. A lot of the men aren't there. They're elsewhere. Whether they
black men kind of remind me of lions. So basically, they're born into the pride, and then they basically, when they get of age, they gotta leave.
Yeah.
And the gang situation is because they're really looking for a family for the most part, and role models and that kind of stuff. And you know what I mean? We're painting with really broad brushes here, but on the white side of the fence, I mean, I think, I'm in Seattle. Look at this asshole up here. I'm in Seattle, and a big push in the white communities is, I call it mediocrity as a virtue. It's kind of like what Norway is. Like, everybody's kind of homogenous and everybody thinks the same way, and they use like sort of passive aggression to shame to get people to go along with the gay stuff and the destruction of the nuclear family and those sort of things. And that's why you see, like, I hate to say it, that's why you see, like, it all plays into the trucker protests. It plays into the farmers that are basically rioting. I guess they bought a tank and there was shots fired in the Netherlands. But there's huge social economic things happening, just at the macro level. Everyone's calling it the Great Reset. But it's going to come to a head with food and money and central bank digital currencies. I think a minor attracted person's civil rights movement, in other words, like pedophiles, are going to are gonna basically sue the court of public opinion for acceptance. And you got some of Biden's chief of staff that are appointed that are caught defending like platforms like that. It's just basically destruction of everything American, everything normal from cradle to grave by an illegitimate president. But I do want to say something quick, and so you can get to your next call. But I predicted the Bitcoin crash. I've predicted this basically it's going to be a mega depression that's going on. On this show, I said, hey, I believe Trump is going to win, but I think we're underestimating Biden's cheating. I said that. There's going to be a new dollar that's going to be installed, and everybody that's kind of gearing up to grow a victory garden, or anybody that thinks they're going to be able to store up enough money or resources or mason jars in order to get through this, you're not going to be able to. You're going to be able to survive for a few months, and you're going to have to get into the system. And they're going to give out programmable money like food stamps to say, here's your bank account. You're allowed to spend it on XYZ. And it's going to be how the new bailout is delivered. And that's how everyone's going to get in the system. I would say go along with it. But at the present time, commodities, the dollar is incredibly strong. Even though there's rampant inflation, compare the dollar to other currencies. And they're going to devalue the dollar, and it's going to be even more weak than in terms of its purchasing power, than what it is now. And silver is on a closeout sale.
Right.
I would go and buy whatever you can in silver. Go to like your coin shop, get 100 ounces if you can. I mean, 100 ounces is like, it'll run you about $2,700. But try to get your money out of the dollar while you can, because when this whole system, when the switch flips on this, you'll be too late. You'll be too late to act,
right on.
And you'll be waiting for the government to give you food money, rent money, gas money. It's going to be like that, central bank digital currency. But yeah, man, have a good day.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, shout out to Matt. One thing I'm gonna say about the if money collapses like that, then your silver will also be worthless, because you at that point need to have ammunition, because it's gonna get like that. I wouldn't even be worried about anything else. That's just kind of how I see it. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's JB Scotchman from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm good. I'm enjoying the show like always. Lots of, crazy stories every week under the Biden administration. So what to expect. Did you see the one I was going to mention? I don't think you covered it yet. The California governor, Gavin Newsom, doing television ads in the state of Florida.
No, I didn't hear about that.
You got to look that up real quick. Yeah, he's trying to convince people in Florida to move to California because their freedoms are under attack, and they'd be a lot more happier in California. I mean, he made a real ad about this and put it on Florida television over the weekend. I mean, what the heck is he thinking?
That's absolutely crazy, because people are flocking to Florida from places like California. So why would they go the other direction? It is. I mean, to me, it sounds like he's trying to replenish population, because they lost population and lost some House reps. And I just saw the other day that they can't stock enough U-Haul trucks in California because of the exodus out of the state. So he's trying to get population back that he lost.
Exactly, because they're losing tax money.
Yeah.
And they're losing, positions in government. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was hilarious. Like, is he really serious? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was going to say, I won't keep it that long. I'll keep it quick tonight. World Trade Center Building 7, yeah, I'm an OG. I know what's up with that, you know, and a lot of stuff that happened that day. I've been studying that stuff for years, and I won't say any more because I know YouTube hates it.
Right.
But earlier you were talking about Judge Dredd, you know, some people we could use on the streets to help clean up all the crime. And people were mentioning like RoboCop in the chat. And, you know, I love action movies, so I thought I'd add a little short list of that real quick. We could definitely use John Rambo.
Yeah.
You know, he's an expert in guerrilla warfare. Obviously Batman. I mean, Batman's the greatest crime fighter ever. Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
Classic character. And I'd also throw in Conan the Barbarian, you know, to handle some melee combat. You know, it'd be the Arnold version, not the Jason Momoa version.
Right, of course.
Right. And lastly, if we had the power and technology to bring someone back from history, you got to go with Wyatt Earp. You know, the greatest lawman in the Wild West.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good team right there to bring back some law and order.
Yeah, we get those guys back somehow, and yeah, we'll clean up everything.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. You have a good night, buddy, man. Love the show. Love everyone listening and everyone in the chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, later, man.
And you know what? You could also you could also bring on that John Wick. Yeah, John Wick. Steal his dog right quick and then just let him rip. So somebody text me on Skype. I can't text back on Skype, but they say they want to come on. Just call. Just call. Just do it that way and come on. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, ABL. Oh my goodness. Okay, I wanted to talk about two things. I want to get your opinion on one of them. But have you heard of the Black Southerner? He's a YouTuber, Minda Jamal.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched his show the other day, and he was talking about the whole LGBTQ and abortion thing, and he broke that thing down. He got a little, he went off. But he said what needed to be said. He was talking about how the left wants to make heterosexual attraction toxic and homosexual attraction normal. And he talked about how, you know, they got a problem with men looking at women, but I'm going to keep it clean, men looking at women's body parts and how that's toxic and that kind of thing. Even though women do it too, they look at men body parts, the whole sweatpants thing. So it's a double standard. Mm-hmm. But he was saying, don't you be trying to tell me I'm toxic because I'm looking at a woman's body. I'm a man. That's what I'm supposed to do. And a lot of, you know, they don't want to hear that. And that's grown, you know, that's grown. And that's how the human race continues to grow because men are attracted to women and women are attracted to men. And so he just really, he made some really good points on that video. So he did go off. I was like, oh my goodness. But this whole abortion thing is so sad when you see these young women out here protesting because they're so stupid. And, you know, you have a lot of them that are lesbians. And what I really get upset about is that they don't want to help these people because a lot of people that are in that lifestyle, they were molested. They were raped. And a lot of them happened when they were young. And that happens to people who are straight, too. They get molested. I have friends that have been molested, and it was when they were a child. And so a lot of them are stuck in that mindset of that trauma from that time. So when you see these people run around at these pride events, talk about pride and acting crazy, they are stuck in that. They are stuck in that time. They didn't grow up because that trauma kept them in that stage. So it's like they're little children looking for attention, and that's why they act out because they want attention. That's why when you see a street preacher out there, they running around kissing in front of the street preacher's face because they want attention. But if you don't give them attention, they're not gonna do nothing. So I mean, and this is not all LGBTQ people. You got people, they do what they do, they grown, they like, they do what they do. But the ones that's out there running around acting crazy for all that attention, that's their trauma acting up. That's all that is. And they run around calling it a clump of cells because they don't want to use their brain and think intellectually that this is human cells. It's human life. We are walking around clumps of cells. The human body is nothing but a whole bunch of cells working together with different functions. Your cells make tissue and your tissue makes organs. So even if you don't want to look at it from a religious standpoint, just from a biological standpoint, we are all big old clumps of cells walking around. So I don't understand the logic of saying that because you're trying to minimize something that's human life. But that's what people who are evil and immature, that spirit of homosexuality is an immature, lustful spirit. So you can't get, there's no sense in even trying to go back and forth with them until they open their eyes and they want to see the light. They're not gonna see it. But it's a lot with that abortion thing. I actually did some research on Gloria Steinem, and it was an interview, and she talks about, like child marriage and stuff, which is rape. So, they'll try to say all these things to say all these bad things that's happening in the world. Child marriage is rape at the end of the day. And it doesn't happen here. It's not legal here in the United States. It's happening in other countries like the Islamic countries and stuff like that. But people not walking around marrying kids in the USA. Y'all just want to kill y'all baby. Most of these abortions are birth control. But she said that we should allow women to separate their sexuality from conception, which your body does not allow you to do. And what it is these women are angry that men can have sex and not get pregnant, and that if they have sex, they could get pregnant. But that's how God made you. So no, and that's why some of them then turned lesbian, because they found a way to get their little freak on all the time and not get pregnant. And that's because they're lustful. And they just, they feel like, oh, I have a right to, and that's what she wanted. She wanted women to be able to have sex as much as they want to and just be free and all this kind of stuff. But that's because you're mad at how God made you and you wish you was a man. So that's why you running around sleeping with women. So we just have a lot of people that are just freaks and full of lust and selfish. And that's what it boils down to. I've watched the YouTube videos of these little girls talking about I don't want to use protection. I had an abortion. And it don't stop these women from going back into bad relationships. It doesn't stop poverty. I know plenty of women that have had multiple abortions and they got kids and they still broke and struggling. So it don't stop all of that. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about abortion. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think about affirmative action? Because I know a lot of people have given Clarence Thomas flack about the whole Roe versus Wade thing and everything, and then they was going back to his history. I was watching a show with Judge Joe Brown, and he was talking about how Clarence Thomas was trying to fight affirmative action back in the day, like back in the day. And I'm not for affirmative action even now, especially with all this wokeness. I think it's bad for Black people. What are your thoughts on affirmative action?
Well, to be really simple, I think that it's wrong to fight what one would think racism is with more racism, because ultimately it's a racist thing. If you prioritize people because of their race, their gender, this, that, and the third, it's like, well, what are we doing? Are we going backward or are we going forward?
Right. And like, I experienced it at my previous place of employment. I was hired on, and I had a little experience in the field, but I was still kind of new. And my manager at the time, they lost a big client when I was hired on, so he didn't have any work for me. So he put me on another team and was like, I'm going to lend you out to this team. So they were working on this really big project, and I was doing just the administrative stuff. I wasn't doing anything important. So this woman, it was a white woman. I could tell she was liberal, and she favored me so much. Do you know this woman wrote an email to the CEO of the company talking about I'm bright and I caught on quick? All I was doing was double checking stuff on an Excel sheet. I wasn't doing nothing special. I didn't save the company any money. I didn't win a new client. I didn't do anything significant. I was basically an admin hand on the project. Nothing special. And that showed me, I was like, this puts, and the CEO didn't even respond. And then my manager found out about it, and he saw the email, and so he felt obligated to say something like, yeah, go ahead. And it was so fake and embarrassing. And so I responded, and I was just like, thank you, but I didn't really do anything. I just, was admin help. So it's frustrating because you hire these Black people, you're doing it for optics. And you either hire them with no experience or little experience, or you might even hire them with some experience. But you're not hiring them because you really want them there. You're hiring them for optics. So you don't really respect them. So when they get the job, they got to deal with the racist people on the job. And not all white people are racist. I'm talking about racist white people. But they mad because you're on the job because they feel like you didn't took the job from some white person, or they feel like it's not fair because you're not experienced. Then you got your manager who basically see you as a pity case because they're like, oh, I helped the poor Black oppressed person. So anything you do on the job is going to be overanalyzed. You're either going to be overpraised for sending a freaking email, or you're going to be, nitpicked on everything you do. So it's like you're putting people in almost a hostile work environment. And I wish people would stop doing that and just hire the best person for the job. I don't want to work anywhere where I'm hired just because I'm Black, because I know that you ultimately don't respect me. Right. So I feel like all this woke stuff is hurting Black people when you are being lifted up by people who really don't think you're intelligent and really don't like you.
Right on. Well, this is a great call. I thank you for calling. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Bye.
Wow. I mean, that was great. Fantastic call. I agree with everything. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoy what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Let's go to... All right. Give me 1 second here. 201, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Peace, ABL. This is Foster the Prankster from Jersey. How are you, bro?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I can't call it, bro. It's been a few episodes since I called in. I've been a little busy, but I wanted to touch on. I know it's old news now, but we talked about the Supreme Court, like the 2A. There's been a lot of decisions, but the 2A and the Roe decisions have been, big news lately. And so I didn't get to speak to you a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to call in and give my 2 cents, man, because I feel like this is an issue. I've talked about before on your show how, I don't play the party politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play sides. I'm more of a spectator. So I watch the overall, which way the ball is going kind of thing. And so when I look at some of these decisions, I think about the signaling, right? Because we know that we're in the era of political theater. You know what I'm saying? We got the Weekend at Bernie's president. We know that what we're seeing in the political lens is not necessarily the people who are really in charge, right? And that there is some sort of overall agenda going on because it seems to be against the will of a large majority of people. But what happens is, just like we saw in rigging election, you get this rubber band effect where the reason that they were able to get away with it was the reasonable doubt that they could say people weren't voting for Biden, right? They were voting against Trump. That's what they said, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're creating an environment where you got AOC out here saying we need to pack the Supreme Court. We got people saying you need to abolish the Supreme Court. You got governors openly thwarting the Supreme Court now. I talk about fascist Phil Murphy, our governor here in New Jersey. The day that Supreme Court 2A decision came out, he made a list of all the gun-free zones as basically every single place in the state. You know what I'm saying? So you now have a situation where you're kind of creating this environment where people are going to be unsure of what their rights are because you have this kind of political turmoil of everybody going against one thing. So you kind of, they put the stimuli out there to create the social change that they really want. You know what I'm saying? To create the leftist backlash that they really want. And so I think it's short-sighted when like conservatives are like throwing parades and are all happy. I understand that, you support life. I support the choice of a person because I think that God allows us to make the wrong choices, So, but that's just my opinion. Like overall, I do believe that, it is killing a human life or what will potentially be a human life, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is that these things are used to create emotional responses, to manufacture consent, as Noam Chomsky said. They manufacture consent and this kind of plausible deniability so that when they get away with these big lies, they can lean on the fact that the public perception seems like everybody wanted it to go that way in the first place. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yes.
So that's all I wanted to say, man, is just I think people need to be more objective and, not get so hyped when they feel like they're side one and kind of just look at the angles and what is really being done by the social engineers to make you want to feel a certain way or jump on a certain side. So, but I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for letting me call in. Love the show, and hopefully I'll talk to you again, bro.
Right on, man. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Peace, bro.
You guys are very smart. You callers, very, very smart. I learned a lot from y'all, for real. Seriously, I'm not even trying to like blow smoke. I'm being dead serious. All right. You're online speaker to 267.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing tonight?
It's all good. About yourself?
I'm good. Now, Anthony, I wanted to say that, they always talk about Black Lives Matter, but more black people are killed in the womb than on the street. So I understand how does that matter? Like, you talk about, like, why don't we just say what it really is? Why does the president say they took away your constitutional right to kill babies? Like, he lied. It was never a constitutional right. But why don't he say, we support you killing your babies? Why they don't say it just like that? Because we already know that Jane Roe stood against abortion. I don't know if you've seen that interview. Did you see it, Anthony?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she said she was set up, and the lawyer even said we played her. She had her baby, and she gave it up for adoption. What's wrong with that? You don't want the child, give it up for adoption. It's crazy how insane how I'm in Philadelphia and I see people marching at City Hall on 4th of July to kill babies. I mean, that is disgusting, But Anthony, what you think about that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how people have been brainwashed to believe that supporting abortion is a good thing. And at the same time, they say Black Lives Matter. They're not putting two and two together. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Black lives should matter when you have a baby. It should matter when your children is doing right, not wrong. Like we got a whole monumental criminal paraded all around the world. I mean, George Floyd was a stone cold criminal. Candace Owens had to do all her journalism work. I mean, Candace Owens, a little person versus this big conglomerate media, couldn't get this much evidence. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know you support Candace. I support her too. She's very good, very articulate. It's like the black people are not entitled to be conservative. Like I find a problem with that. But Anthony, check this out. It's cold. I'm gonna end it right here. It's cold when somebody say both sides. That's just cold for Democrats.
Right.
So I'm gonna just end it right there.
Thank you for your call, man. I appreciate you. Great call. 570, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, who am I speaking to?
Dylan.
All righty, what's happening?
Not much. A lot of callers tonight have been I don't know how to say this, but doomers about a lot of things. And I got to say, a lot of people don't seem to realize how much they're already dancing the knife's edge. You know what I mean? When it comes to political instability, they don't want political instability. They want power. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, yeah, I think people ultimately do want power.
No, I don't mean people want power. I mean the political system wants power.
So those people,
They
not
don't
just
want
wait, hold on, wait, sir,
power.
excuse me, sir. So I understood what you meant. I'm talking about people that actually can get it, not just a regular normie on the street that is not in the position of power. I'm talking about those that are in politics.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I have to agree on that. The average person wants their, actual ability to have their say preserved, and they know that. I cannot imagine them actively going out of their way to step on the knife's edge and, try and walk across a bunch of blades. I just can't imagine them actively going much farther with this nonsense. They're not even really pushing with their gun control nonsense. So I find it absurd to suggest that they're going to push much harder with trying economic controls.
Well, we see what's happening right now, so it's not really hard to imagine that they would go further with what they're already doing.
I'm sure they'll try things, or at least they'll say they'll try things, but the simple fact is those in power right now just want to stay in power. That's all they ever wanted to begin with. And they're not really willing to risk that any further than they already have. This is why they've not empowered the left in any meaningful way, despite the fact that they're getting more and more House seats from the Democrats. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So is there anything else that you wanted to say?
No, not really. You have a wonderful night, all right?
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All righty. Shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet, so couldn't do it without you. 901, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Mr. Logan. This is Zach from Memphis, Tennessee. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm well. Can't complain.
All right. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about was this power grab for everybody's weapons. What is it? These imbeciles in office just. Where's the disconnect that is not going to go the way they want it to go as far as grabbing, trying to confiscate weapons and make more gun laws? I mean, because you look at some of the worst places in the country to be, like Chicago, they got the strictest gun laws, but the most homicide. So how are more gun laws going to solve the issues?
I mean, they don't. They do things like that to make people feel good, although it won't work. It's weird.
I know. I mean, it's just like, and what if you can't get through the people's head that, what we've, after decades of experience, has shown us that this does not work. Where I'm just trying to figure out where the disconnect is, because it seems like, my kind of favorite saying, I guess, when you give somebody enough rope, like politicians, giving them enough rope, everybody thinks they're a cowboy. And we've given them so much rope that we just got a bunch of cowboys in politics running loose, thinking they can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. And it's just, something's got to give with it. I mean, this cannot continue. It really can't.
Now, I mean, I agree. So, it's got to be a change somewhere.
Got to be. So I'm hopeful in November that we're going to get a lot of Congress back with the midterms. But with that last caller, it's just like he was saying how surprised he was, that they would go this far and couldn't imagine going further. Why not? How can you not imagine it? Look what we just went through with this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? They went above and beyond, in a lot of places. And believe it or not, I spent 4 years in Seattle and just moved back home, a few years ago, and went through it in 2020 in one of the worst places to go through it, So, yeah, trust, they can go a lot further, but they just don't even know the half of it. And it's just, I just can't understand where the disconnect is, So, but that's all I wanted to say. And join the show as always. You've had some good callers tonight, and man, just keep doing the good work you're doing. It's wonderful. Love it.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, great call. Let's go to calling online speaker to 647. Hello, 647.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Everything's all right. So what's going on?
So I would just like to thank you, first of all, for putting such a platform where you educating people and making us aware of everything that's going on. But secondly, I would like to put this American nation in God's hands, because it sets the precedent. America sets the precedent of what happens to us who are not in America. For example, if things start to go wrong in America, there won't be people to fight for us, the Africans. Therefore, we pray that God will help the Americans to come back to the straight path so that they'll continue to lead the way and touch the light in our countries. Because certain things that happen in America, once they finish to get established, they start to flow down into our African countries. Good things have happened, but now we don't want the bad things to start happening. And America is already setting the precedent. So I just really want to thank you so much for always shedding the light. We are from Africa, but we are always following you, and we are rooting for America to become a better place and to become what it used to be. That dream that we see people going for is the same dream that we want to get for our countries. But if we see America going down the drain, even some of the things that we saw, like today I saw your video which was showing the senator that was twerking. Even a high school person in my secondary school where I went could never do that. I think there's lots of reasoning, like the liberal mind is going on another level right now. It is just going to another level that people are losing common sense. It is very obvious that dignity is not expensive. It should be a basic thing for any senator or any person in leadership. So anyway, my main point is that I want to thank you so much for broadcasting this and teaching everybody, because we are watching you from all over the world, and we are rooting for America to become a better place, as to go back to its former glory. To go back to its former glory, that's what we are rooting for. So thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Fantastic call. Fantastic. Loved it. All right. And the number to call, as always, is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box. And it's also usually right here in the ticker at a certain point when it wants to come up. And let's go to, you're on line with speaker 2757.
Yeah, Mr. Logan, Chesapeake Bob here. How you doing?
Everything's all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. It's been a little while. Tried to call in last Saturday, but the phones were busy, and I didn't blame you.
Right.
On the statue down in Georgia that got blown up and then was fell down, I don't know why they did that, but I think I know how it came about. The reason why is there was a statue on the MIT campus that actually was dedicated to a police officer named Sean Collier. He was shot by those two Boston bombers. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So the memorial that they put together for him has no fasteners. It has no slots. It's probably 150 feet star. It's a big star, police officer star. And the whole thing's held together by the capstone on the very top. So if you disturb any of the legs around that capstone will collapse. And I believe this is how that statue was erected.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know the politics as to why it was done that way, but I think that's how that same statue was put together. And I'm going to talk about something you mentioned briefly last Saturday. Is that okay?
Sure.
So this is just to say your point was true. So last Thursday, me and my wife, I was on the couch. It was about 11 o'clock. We were watching a TV show or whatever. My wife was in a chair because I knocked at the door. I look out the window. It's cop. Now, you know my area. I live in a very single-family home subdivision right off Mount Pleasant.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've been over there a lot of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So if you drive through this area at night on a Saturday, we call it Cop Town. Okay, there's a police officer there, there's a police cop there, there's a police cop there, and I live in the cul-de-sac. So, of course, all my neighbors are looking out the window while the cop's over at Bob's house. And so I opened the door. I said, yes, sir. Can I help you? He's like, are you? And he gave me a name. And I said, absolutely not. And he's like, well, just the address, Bible. He read the address to me. I said, well, yeah, that's the right address. He says, well, we were told that some other body lived there. I'm like, I don't know the guy. Don't know what he's talking about. And he's like, how long have you lived here? I said, about 27 years. And he's like, oh. And he's like walking away, like, obviously we got the wrong number. And I said, what's this about? And he was saying, oh, this guy hasn't paid child support for X number of years.
Mm.
So I basically kind of looked over my shoulder at my wife and said, you got something to say?
Yeah.
So your point on Saturday was they will come around looking for you if you don't pay child support.
Yes.
So that's a little late, but the last thing I wanted to leave you with is if you want to have a laugh before you go to bed tonight, and somebody else in the chat brought this up, so I'll shout out to them. But have you seen the protester at the Nathan's National Hot Dog Eating Contest this year?
I saw that. I had no idea what he was protesting about. I saw the sign, but I didn't know what the sign was referring to.
Well, I didn't really know what the sign was referring to either. I think it had something to do with oil or Black Lives Matter. All I saw was this great big dude in the middle who won the contest, I guess, a couple of years in a row. He's sitting there stuffing these hot dogs down his mouth, and the right on just chokes the dude out and just keeps on eating. I just thought that was just, if you want a good laugh before you go to bed, they have it as a short on YouTube. So that's what I wanted to leave you with, and a great show as always, and I'll be on the side.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I saw that, and I did see the guy wrestle him down. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find that clip right quick. And I also found the Gavin Newsom, California, trying to repopulate California. I saw that ad too. Give me 1 second here. So here's a video that Bob was referring to. And you see the guy coming in with this random sign. It says expose Smithfield's Death Star. And my man right here to the right of the screen, but to his left, is about to go ahead and choke him on out. Let's go ahead and get it, big dog. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. That right there, we need this guy. Yo, I mean, all your whole your windpipe, your trachea, all that's torn to pieces. Let's watch it from the beginning. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what in the world? Hey, man, eating them glizzies and choking the man out at the same time. Now, here's the Gavin Newsom. So I got that one. Let me go ahead and favorite that just to make sure I got it in my. Yeah, let's go ahead and then here's the Gavin Newsom video. Just right quick. All right, give me 1 second so I can frame it proper. And the person that posted this, Trey Redell, I don't know who that is. The caption says, quote, California freedom, unquote, in all caps. if we raise more than $100,000, we'll put this on TV in California. Send Gavin Newsom a message from Florida and donate here. So I guess this is like a anti. So that this is like a conservative spot. Let's see what this is.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom is under attack in your state. Dictator Ron DeSantis incredibly lets you walk around without masks. That tyrant allows your kids to go to school during the pandemic.
Okay, I guess it's like a little parody. That's not really it, because I'm like, that's not his voice. But I'm gonna try to find that video later. I don't got a whole bunch of time right now. So yeah, shout out to the RNC for that little parody ad. Let's continue here. 209, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Oh, 209 got cold feet. I don't know what happened. Okay. If you texting me, I don't understand. Just call. Stop acting up. Okay. 209, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. This is Debbie. I just turned it down. You were just talking to somebody, and I was listening. I have a question for you, and I just want to word it just right so I don't do nothing wrong. The gentleman that just called before the lady about our gun rights, that's really, important, and we need to keep them because they're trying to basically put in this new world order. I realized it a long time ago when I finally figured out, Oprah Winfrey Network, put it backwards, New World Order. So it's like, that's kind of scary. But what I'm thinking is, it's kind of weird, I'd say. And I want to know what you think about all of these shootings happening and the fact that B-Tech can, they constantly keep informed the other party, and then the other party, goes right straight to the media. So it's like a triangle. And I'm thinking that they're, like either Georgie or Billy or even, the other higher ups that are helping our president, because he's not ruling, so somebody is. And are they the ones that are actually doing all of these awful shootings? Are they paying for it? Are they doing it to take our guns from us?
I think that shootings happen just because they happen. And there's certain things that are highlighted above others because of how they happen and the weapon that's used. But other shootings that happen that are also mass shootings don't get any light of day. And I think it's been like that for a while. So I think it's more about media coverage. Maybe there's a spike in it, but I think there's more media coverage that's dictating what's happening right now with the gun rights.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that all of a sudden when they wanted to start taking our guns away, that all these shootings start happening. And then like that one guy, the worst one, and my heart goes out to all of the parents that lost kids and all of the people that lost family in all of these shootings. Because I lost my son to an illegal alien, so I know. But it's still, I don't understand. Like that one kid had those 2 guns that he couldn't afford. So who bought them for him? It might have been in his name, but somebody could have sent him the money so that he could have started earlier, because that they flag everybody on everywhere on these social medias except for truth. And it's just really scary to think that they would actually do, hire that kid because he put it on his social media what he wanted to do. And, and then they tell the cops to stand down. And now, that one cop, I think he retired or quit or whatever. the chief. But I can't imagine what those other officers are going through that we're told to stand down and not go in and save those children.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, but I'm sorry for your loss and thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. And I was able to find the Gavin Newsom commercial, the actual one. This is on Gavin Newsom's account. The one I had played earlier, I think that was a parody from the RNC. Maybe what I can do, I could play the parody from the RNC after this one. So let me go ahead and get this loaded up, and then I'll play the RNC parody. Give me a second here. So here's the actual video, and this is on Gavin Newsom's Twitter page. His caption says, "We're about to celebrate Independence Day, but freedom is under attack by Republican leaders in states like Florida, banning books, restricting speech." Oh, speech, y'all all of a sudden the big free speech people. Okay. Making it harder to vote, criminalizing women and doctors. It's time to stand up. Don't let them take your freedom. So California is the place of freedom for real? Okay. What, freedom to smoke crack all day? Okay, let's play it.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida.
So let me back up a little bit, because there's like certain things that are flashing on the screen. So when talking about banning books, it says Florida bans more than 40% of math books after review. And then the next one is Senator Rick Scott's Voter Act would disenfranchise military, other voters. And then as far as free speech in classrooms, it says, quote, bans marginalized. Let's get the grammar correct, Gavin Newsom. Bans marginalized Florida children. Well, how about we ban this ridiculous stuff in California where they can't, you graduate and you can't read it all because of these ridiculous low standards. But anyway, and then also Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signs bill banning most abortion after 15 weeks. So I guess that's criminalizing women and doctors when you say that you can't kill kids past 15 weeks gestation. Got it. Anyway, let's continue with the commercial.
All of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
The freedom to be a 24-year-old man and have sex with a 14-year-old boy and not go to jail. But I digress.
Paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2022.
Sorry, that might have been a little bit too graphic. I'm sorry, but I was triggered by that particular thing. Because the thing about it is he's not necessarily lying about the freedom in California. But the problem is too much freedom. You could just do whatever you want. You could smoke crack, doo-doo on the ground, and it's fine. And it's like you got to have some type of order in society, or you're going to have chaos. But let's move right along. All right, I got supers on deck. I messed up. So now let me go ahead and play the let me play the response. Okay, I got to play the response. All right. So here's the response. This is a parody from RNC.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom is under attack in your state. Dictator Ron DeSantis incredibly lets you walk around without masks. That tyrant allows your kids to go to school during the pandemic.
Oh, and I'm tripping. California believes in a lot of freedom for certain things, but not for other things. Oh, you want to go to school? Mask, vax, you can't have guns, so you got some freedom where it's too much freedom. There's like an imbalance. You have too much freedom in certain places and then not enough freedom in other places, or no freedom in other places.
Year 2 or 4 or who the hell knows. I urge you living in Florida to join the fight. Or join us in California, where we'll take the money you earn and give it to people who don't work. Visit San Francisco, where you can walk through human feces. If you're lucky, you might step on a syringe. Check out Los Angeles, where gas is so expensive, your kids only need to skip a meal or 2 or 10 to afford it. California, where freedom means lockdowns for you, while I go to the places you can't afford. Yeah. Don't let them take your freedom. Come to California, where we'll take it. along with your money.
Very good. Very well done. VoteTheR.com. I like that. That's cool. That's kind of hip RNC. You guys are doing decent with your promo. I like it. I don't know who y'all got over there, but shout out to y'all over there at the RNC for trying to get them a little bit more to the 21st century or 22nd century, 21st century. Let's keep on moving. You're in line speaking to 507.
Yeah, my name's Brian. I'm from Minnesota.
All righty. What's going on?
Okay, just one thing, or a couple things here. First off, the shooter in Illinois, and I'm from Illinois, and I'm so glad I moved out of Illinois because I call it Illinois for a reason. But, yeah, he was had a dress on, and that's typically transgender. So why aren't they calling it transgender? Oh, because it goes against the narrative. It just blows my mind. It's transgender, everything's okay until something like this happens.
Right. And the thing is, to give the full context, they found a picture of him with the Trump flag on his back. And for that flag, they called him a Trump supporter, conservative Republican. That was what they said, right? But then when they see him in the women's clothing, they don't say that he's LGBT and liberal. They don't say what is linked to that. It only goes one direction when it benefits them, but when it doesn't benefit them, they ignore it.
Exactly. And, it's also been a lot of other stuff has been found out about this kid. Like he had some pretty dark music videos on the web.
Right.
And yeah, there's not a gun problem. And I'm a veteran, 2 tours in Iraq. There is a mental health problem. And they just can't seem to see it.
Right.
It just blows my mind how all this shit, I'm sorry, I have to put that out, all this stuff comes out. And it's like, we don't get the full context to everything. I always say, wait at least 24 to 48 hours before you make an opinion on anything. Why? Because the truth will come out eventually.
That's right.
And I've been watching you for, like 2 or 3 years, maybe more. Yeah, but I'm a racist because I'm a white guy, but yet I'm watching you and loving your videos.
Yeah, people, they pretty much will tell you anything. They'll say anything to you to shame you and to make you acquiesce to whatever they want you to do. That's all that is. It's shaming language. It's a old and tired tactic at this point.
Exactly. And, every one of those badges they give me, oh, you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're this, you're that. I wear those badges with honor saying, it's coming from the left, so, yeah, it's not real.
Right. Exactly.
And I wish I could have gone to Washington to meet you in person because that would be epic. That would have been epic.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a great moment. So hopefully we do more stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm disabled. I'm trying to start my own business, but in this economy, good luck.
Yeah, it's a little rough right now.
I'm pretty much having to close down my doors already, and I've only been operational for less than a year. I do 3D printing. And yeah,
it's
I've
rough.
had I don't know how many customers have to say, "Well, we have to cancel because of the economy." I understand. Unfortunately, not my idea of a good time.
Right
and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's not Biden's fault for the inflation. It's not Biden's fault for the gas." Whose fault is it then? Because gas companies only make 1 cent per gallon. They make all the profit off the stuff they sell in the stores.
That's right. Yeah, to blame the gas station is just ridiculous. They're not in control of that at all. That's not even anything that's way beyond their pay grade.
Yeah. We both, I for sure know about being beyond a pay grade. Yeah. But like I said, this is the first time I've called, and I gotta say it's a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right. You have a good day and stay safe.
All right, now same to you. Shout out to the caller, great caller. So the price of fuel is not just localized here in America; it's all over the world. But what we're doing as far as this whole Russia thing and Ukraine and refusing their stuff, we're disrupting the whole world. So here's a protest in Ghana over the cost of fuel, food. So they're having fuel and food going up. So now you're having a higher cost of living. All right. So here's this. So now you may have global instability because of some ridiculous things that they're doing in the G7, you know, USA, Western Europe, etc. Global instability. That's a problem. That's definitely a problem. You know, because, you know, Biden can't screw up the country. That's one thing. That's bad enough for us. But then when the whole world has to suffer, that's not going to be good. Not at all. I think the pressure from other countries could impact the next election because people got family in other countries. Like if you're first generation immigrant or something like that, that could definitely impact you. So I think 2022 this year, midterms this year are going to be crazy. And definitely 2024. Oh yeah, people are not going to forget. They're not going to forget this. And I think we could still be going through it at that time as well. 908, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. It's Debbie from Jersey.
All righty, what's going on?
How you doing?
Well, can't complain about yourself.
Good. Hi, all the viewers. I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to call. First of all, I just wanted to put some insight to that mayor that's doing the twerking, okay?
Okay.
This is my thing. This is my story on it because she came out of nowhere. So I believe that she was a stripper in a club. I believe that one of her regular customers was somebody that was in the politics office in that town, and he really started to like her. And she wanted to get out of that club. And she said, look, can you get me in? He said, yeah, I can get you in. So she's doing favors and he's doing favors. That's what I think. Because nobody in any right mind is going to do that. And those taxpayers are paying for that. And if those people don't speak out, there's a problem. Because guess what? You can't make a hoe out of a housewife. Don't work. So I just wanted to say that to you. And I also just want to tell everybody, I've been looking at a lot of things very disturbing to me with these protests and everything that's going on. And I'm new on Twitter and I'm looking around and I've never seen, and I knew it was out there, but now it's really hitting me in the face. These people are evil. They have no souls. They have hearts that are black, and they don't care about life, and they don't believe in God. And I'm telling you right now, y'all better pray up, vest up, put on the full armor, because we got a battle. And with everybody praying, those guidestones came down. Okay? That was God. But it was just the cement and the stone. The evil is still exists. So we got to keep praying as Christians and you pray out loud because the devil can't read your mind. He can hear words. And if you got to do it in your house, wherever you got to do it, you don't have to be in church. You do it wherever. And you ask God to save our country because these people are going to keep coming. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I just want everybody, you got to walk in faith, not in fear. Because with your faith, and every time you praise him, it's making them even weaker. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and just type in street preachers that are out colleges or on the streets. These people are coming out of nowhere. They don't want to hear the word Jesus Christ. It ticks them off, and they just go insane. Okay? And they're hitting our colleges, and they're brainwashing our children. So if you have any children that are in college, you need to be active to see what is going on and who's coming on campuses and talking. Because this one guy went on a campus, and these kids were ruthless. And I did find something on the website called studentsforlife.org. And these are people that work with colleges and campuses, and they're pro-life people. Now, I don't know if they're still really active, but they do have a website. And they go to schools, and, you know, there are even students that are talking out against pro-life. So I just wanted to share that. And one more thing, that shooter, and I know everybody's looking at him and they're breaking him down on Twitter, and they're saying, oh, he's Republican, he's this. That boy is a product of mind control, because he was picked to carry out somebody's behind that evil plan. That was not in that boy's nature. They broke that boy down, they stripped him to nothing. And they need to be looking at the doctor who was under his care, the facility he was in, because I'm telling you right now, you can look in his eyes and see the light is gone. And all the symbolism is there. The red and the blue, that's all the symbolism from the Freemasons, and all their symbolism. It's a lot. It's really sad. And that's what they do. They find these broken people, and that's what they do to carry out their evil mission. And then they dispose of them. And they find these kids and you don't even know. So if you have children that are going to doctors and they're taking medicine, you need to be more vigilant, because you don't know who that doctor is and what they're doing. All right. And I know that for a fact, because my daughter had ADHD and when my husband was getting sick, she went to a nervous breakdown, and they prescribed her something that just zoned her out. And I said, no, we're not doing this. I said, I don't like the way she looks. She doesn't make any sense, and we're not doing this. And now she's taking care of her stuff holistically. We don't want the meds anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So please, now I'm not giving him a pass for the act that he did. What he did was cruel, but it wasn't him. The same thing with that subway shooter. All these mass shootings, someone's behind that. These people are broken down. And I'm telling you right now, all they need is a trigger, and they're gone. It could be your next door neighbor, normal as anything. As soon as they get that trigger word, they're under it. They got to carry out the mission. So this is what's going on. It's the people high up that are controlling these people. All right. So I just want to tell you that. Please, everybody, walk in faith, not in fear. God got us, but we are in spiritual warfare. This is not Democrat, Republican. We're way past that. This is definitely spiritual warfare. And these people are going to keep coming and coming, but you just shout the word of God to them, Jesus Christ, and it's all going to start to crumble. Just keep your faith in him. And that's why I love everybody. And please just walk in faith, not in fear. Anthony, I love you doing a great job. I know you're going to be up there on Blexit, and maybe I'll be on there too. I love you.
Thank you for the call.
And I told that mother to give everybody their money back, because everybody supported her career. I said, actually, you shouldn't be talking politics. Just shut up, sing, and dance. That's all you need to do. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. That'll be a wrap, actually. We're right at the end of the show. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for calling. Thank you for watching. If you couldn't come on tonight, it's not my fault. You know what to blame. Blame the white man. But you guys have been a great audience as always. I'll be back live again on Saturday. You know the time, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. And this is a podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern time. That'll be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just search on your favorite audio streaming platform, ABL Live, and that should pop right on up. You guys have been great, of course. Great callers, great listeners, just overall great as always. But let's get to a few of the super chats here, and then I'll wrap it on up, put the book clean on top. Thank you to Ryan N, who says, free Santa. I thought I already read that one. Thank you to Miss Queen, who says, for all that donated. Thank you to Katie Walker, who says, ABL, you rock, with the heart emoji. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Do that right there. There you go. As usual, US, and the heart emoji. Thank you for that. Thank you to Mark Swint, who says, good job. New, but like your channel. Thank you. You guys are great. But that will be a wrap. Until next time. Oh, and of course, shout out to the mods for doing what y'all do. I almost forgot about that, because we had some of them weird chats in here. I don't know how some of those chats got through, because there's a filtration system before you're even able to get to the chat. So I don't even know how some of these spam bots were getting through that. It's like, come on, man, I got a little safety net. Y'all going straight through the safety net like it ain't nothing. But thank you to the mods for keeping them out of here because that was a big crazy mess. Yeah, we got little kids watching. We can't be having F words and stuff like that fly across the screen, but you guys did a great job keeping them out of the way. So thank y'all for doing that. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.